It's all because my mom opened them. Whichever one you want to see, just open it. Sophie Sullivan gently bit her lip, one hand pulling Jake Thompson's hand, looking down at her feet then saying, "Hee, little boyfriend, let's open them together." Boston Highway exit. A black Passat slowly drove out, heading straight into downtown Boston. "Honey, quickly use the GPS. I'm a bit lost. The intersection is coming up." Jack Thompson still didn't know which way to turn. Looking at his anxious appearance, Diana Lee glared fiercely. "Turn right ahead, GPS my ass. That damn map would be useful. I've memorized it all already." Jack Thompson laughed hee, not only praising, but also saying, "Wife is still the best. But it's coming unannounced like this. Really not telling our dear son?" Diana Lee glanced at him, lowering her voice scolding then saying, "Give him a chance to hide things? We'll directly launch a surprise attack. Definitely we'll have a big harvest. I have a premonition. I believe in fate." In Jack Thompson's heart, couldn't help feeling sorry for his dear son. Unlucky to have such a strong mother. "What the hell are you looking at the road for?" Diana Lee's shout rang out, almost piercing Jack Thompson's eardrums. Jack Thompson sighed deeply, glanced at Diana Lee then let it go. Just feeling sorry for himself then. Unlucky to marry such a gentle and kind wife. "Drive faster, I can't wait anymore. The household registration book, family heirloom I brought too. I don't have any other requirements. As long as our son finds a girl, I'll immediately force them to register marriage." 10 months later holding grandchildren, Garden Residence Complex. Sophie Sullivan and Jake Thompson both froze. "Little boyfriend, how many girls have you been flirting with? Why is each letter more outrageous than the last?" Jake Thompson's head was full of black lines. The two had just opened one. The opening was still normal. But right after the first paragraph it became outrageous. The letter told Jake Thompson that his house was often empty. Parents working far away. Attached with a photo wearing stockings. Even had a private home address. Haha, keep reading. Jake Thompson could only use laughter to hide his awkwardness. But felt a bit lucky in his heart. Good thing mom didn't see these before. Otherwise seeing Diana Lee's formation, wishing to marry him off immediately, would definitely force Jake Thompson to go. Sophie Sullivan smiled slightly. "This letter has been opened before. This is a letter my high school teacher wrote at graduation, encouraging me to study well in college." Jake Thompson explained. "When I first read this letter, my blood was boiling. But technology developed. Network communication too strong. I can contact my high school teacher anytime. So this letter was thrown in this pile." "Great, I want to see this one." Sophie Sullivan's eyes lit up. This was her real purpose. She wanted to see these little love letters. The purpose was to understand his past. Not to read embarrassing romantic words. But with an expansive nature. Bringing a bit of old era feeling. Classmate Jake Thompson. "Oh no, should now call you brother Jake Thompson. First congratulations. You passed Boston University as valedictorian. I still remember clearly. You were the smartest in class. Even though between your brows always showed a delinquent student air." Sophie Sullivan read softly. Each sentence was the high school teacher's advice. For Jake Thompson back then. Through each word she could feel. This teacher really liked student Jake Thompson. Sophie Sullivan also understood more about his past. Evening studies, secretly sneaking out to play basketball. Climbing walls with friends to internet cafes to game. Even submitted blank English exam papers. Didn't expect his past to be so rich. Her little boyfriend. That teacher must not be very old, right? Jake Thompson nodded slightly. "Just graduated from grad school, then taught our graduating class. That's the fat teacher with bad temper. My senior year wasn't comfortable at all." Sophie Sullivan's eyes gazed at Jake Thompson's profile. In the sunset light, the profile of the boy sitting at the desk writing appeared in her mind. "Hee, the more you look the more you like, right? Want a hug?" Sophie Sullivan's heart fluttered, reaching out. At the same time he consciously closed his eyes. Corner of Jake Thompson's mouth curved into a smile. Gently asking, "Want a kiss?" Sophie Sullivan's finger lightly poked his palm. raising eyebrows mischievously, joking that she didn't really want it that much. But if you want, I won't refuse. Jake Thompson laughed. This little Miss Sullivan just talks. But kissing must definitely happen. Damn, having such a beautiful wife. If not kissing, then what's the point? But Jake Thompson was just about to lean close to Sophie Sullivan, when suddenly a knock at the door rang out. Jake Thompson froze. Service fees already paid. Water and electricity bills just paid too. Isn't this damn ruining my mood? Head full of black lines opening the door. The moment looking up seeing the two people at the door. Jake Thompson's face showed pain. Eyelid twitching hard. Damn. Mom, Dad, why are you two here? How does this kid talk to his mother? Quickly say something nice. Jack Thompson, breaking out in cold sweat for his dear son. Desperately winking signals. Little Jake. That damn phrase. How can you say it right in front of your mom? If your mom goes crazy later, Dad can't stop her either. Blood ties run deep. Hearts connected. Jake Thompson immediately understood Dad's meaning. Scratching his head, smiling at Diana Lee. Mom, your complexion looks great. Turning to look at Jack Thompson. Dad, still a bit lacking consideration. Corner of Diana Lee's mouth curved slightly. Nodding satisfied. Good son, these words are pleasant to hear. Having said that, Diana Lee was about to enter the house. How could Jake Thompson let that happen? Miss Sullivan was still in the bedroom. If caught, the consequences would be unthinkable. Mom, you came to visit me, right? Now you've visited. Let's go. Jake Thompson deliberately spoke loudly. Purpose was to alert Sophie Sullivan in the room. Wife, you must hide well. This is really my mother, not fake. Diana Lee pouted, directly pushing Jake Thompson's arm away. Eyes sharp as knives. Speak. What shady business at home? Confess and be lenient. Resist and be punished severely. Why are you in such a hurry? Could there really be something shady? At most just hiding a beautiful wife. Jake Thompson sighed heavily, face showing a flattering smile, while massaging Diana Lee's back, while coaxing, Mom, I mean, you and Dad must be tired from the journey. Let me take you out to eat. We can eat and talk, wouldn't that be better? Diana Lee's face showed a gentle smile again. Little Jake has grown up. Knows to invite parents to dinner. This thoughtfulness is rare. Let Mom tell you. Don't always eat out. Tonight Mom will personally cook. Make your favorite dishes. Diana Lee elbowed Jake Thompson aside. Jack Thompson followed behind, entering. Couldn't bear it, sighing. Patting Jake Thompson's shoulder. Little Jake, take care of yourself. In front of your mom. Dad has no say either. Jake Thompson's head full of black lines, really can't escape. Hurriedly turning around, running straight to the sofa. Hiding Sophie Sullivan's purse. Then, while Diana Lee wasn't paying attention, quickly closed the bedroom door. Now his mission was both clear and difficult. That was to find an excuse. To take Diana Lee and Jack Thompson outside, so Sophie Sullivan could escape. But things don't go as planned. When Diana Lee changed shoes, she accidentally looked up. Saw car keys on the shoe cabinet. Exactly Sophie Sullivan's Maserati keys. She excitedly picked them up. Eyes wide. Amazed, asking, Son, you bought a Maserati? Must cost several million at least. Mom just passed by downstairs and thought, this Maserati is really beautiful. Jake Thompson coughed lightly, hurriedly explaining, it's my friend's. Today is weekend. Just borrowed it to drive around. He really didn't dare say he bought the car. Because his mother, Diana Lee, wasn't old-fashioned. Since childhood tried to buy him the best things. But if Jake Thompson said this was his Maserati, Diana Lee definitely wouldn't say twice. Would force him to sell the car immediately. By then, just looking. Car owner info is Sophie Sullivan, a young woman. Would be exposed immediately. Saying it's a friend's. Really airtight. No loopholes anywhere. Seeing Diana Lee and Jack Thompson half believing. Jake Thompson quickly changed subject. Oh right. How did you two find your way here? I didn't tell you the room number. This was what Jake Thompson was extremely curious about. Before Diana Lee and Jack Thompson had come. But had business in Boston. So had to hurry home. Only met Jake Thompson briefly. Downstairs in the apartment. Never came to the house, he didn't have cameras on him. How did they find straight to his nest this time? Jack Thompson excitedly raised his finger. This time all thanks to your mom just now downstairs. Randomly found a security guard. Asked one question. Know an extremely handsome homeowner? The guard heard. Is it Mr. Thompson? Without saying twice. Immediately gave Dad the room number. Jack Thompson explained, not forgetting to give Diana Lee a thumbs up. Damn, really skilled. Right at this moment, in Jake Thompson's heart 10,000 horses were trampling. Frantically running through. Security guard. I haven't treated you badly normally. Being handsome really is troublesome. Jake Thompson was still secretly complaining in his heart. When Diana Lee directly stood up, eyes staring at the phone, Jake Thompson quickly pulled Mom's hand. Mom, where are you going? Diana Lee glared at him, shouting, isn't that your bedroom? Why is it closed? Mom glanced earlier. The door was clearly open. This kid definitely has problems. Damn, what's it like having such a sharp-eyed mother at home? What's the experience of having a 1,000-mile vision mother? Jake Thompson wanted to cry. He stood blocking right in front of Diana Lee. Mom, listen to me first. I haven't washed socks for months. To the point the socks can stand up by themselves. The room is full of smelly sock odor. If Mom opens the door, isn't that asking for trouble? Damn, worthy of me. Even thought of this. Jake Thompson secretly praised himself. Diana Lee rolled her eyes helplessly, gently patting Jake Thompson's shoulder. Oh, my good son. So you do think of Mom. Really very cute. But have you heard this sentence? Mom always understands you best. Suddenly Diana Lee's tone changed. Smelly socks? Impossible. You've been a neat freak since childhood. Is there a woman hidden in the room? Words not finished. Diana Lee elbowed Jake Thompson away, turning the doorknob, opening the bedroom. Jake Thompson gasped cold air. Done for, ruined. Miss Sullivan, we're about to be made into kebabs by Mom. Mom, calm down, Jake Thompson quickly called after, glancing into the empty bedroom. Only Diana Lee standing there. Diana Lee looked at Jake Thompson suspiciously. Jake Thompson raised his eyebrows hard, mind spinning quickly. See? Nothing there. I mean, Mom, calm down, listen to me. I want to eat your spicy beef and chili chicken. So hungry now. Mom, just stay home and rest, I'll go downstairs to buy ingredients. Having said that, Jake Thompson turned to go downstairs, but walking very slowly, secretly counting down in his heart 3, 2, 1. Stop pretending to be diligent. Let us go by. The stuff you choose is all garbage. Indeed. Diana Lee called him back. Before going out, Diana Lee and Jack Thompson. Jack Thompson deliberately winked at Jake Thompson. Jake Thompson nodded slightly. Dad, rest assured. I understand everything. Dad, try to keep Mom busy. I'll handle what needs to be done. Can't help but sigh. Dad is still reliable. Really thinking of his own son. Seeing the door close, Jake Thompson's tense heart relaxed. He immediately opened the bedroom door, pulled open the wardrobe. His room had no balcony. Under the bed couldn't hide anyone. So Miss Sullivan must be here. He quickly opened the wardrobe. Wife, are you okay? Sophie Sullivan's face flushed red, resentfully glancing at him. What do you think? Jake Thompson froze. If you really want me to say, I guess you're not very okay. Sophie Sullivan hummed lightly, stepping out of the wardrobe, rubbing her numb calves from standing too long, trying to hide her blushing face. Just now in the wardrobe, hearing Jake Thompson bantering back and forth with Diana Lee. She'd been blushing for a long time, calculating all sorts of things in her heart, all the way to Mount Fuji's peak. Actually, it's fine, but now I have a bold idea. Jake Thompson was stunned, quickly asking, what idea? Wife, you better leave quickly. My mom shops fast. Won't be long before she returns. Though Sophie Sullivan was afraid of Diana Lee. If having to face Diana Lee directly now, she'd definitely be so embarrassed, wanting to dig a hole to hide. But that didn't stop her wanting to tease Jake Thompson a bit. After all, Auntie just left. Less than a minute, right? Still have time. I don't want to leave yet. Unless you agree to one request. Jake Thompson nodded without thinking. Okay. Corner of Sophie Sullivan's mouth curved into a mischievous smile. Fair arm pulling Jake Thompson's hand. Then close your eyes, HMPH. The debt of Jake Thompson stealing kisses, now she must pay back. Now with perfect timing and circumstances. Must kiss back, and kiss twice. Jake Thompson wanted to cough blood inside. He'd guessed what Miss Sullivan planned to do. Damn, Miss Sullivan, isn't this taking advantage when someone's in trouble? Look, my mom could return anytime. And you still want to take advantage of me. Have to endure it. Being kissed, then let her kiss. Hee, Sophie Sullivan hummed softly, shyly pressing close to Jake Thompson's face. Just about to execute her counterattack. When Jake Thompson suddenly opened his eyes. Swoosh. Wait. Sophie Sullivan's face flushed red. Why did you open your eyes? Jake Thompson helplessly shrugged. You close your eyes from embarrassment. I'm not embarrassed. Why should I close my eyes? Arms akimbo. Face completely red. Sophie Sullivan pouted. Directly sat on Jake Thompson's bed. While playing with her small nails. While whispering, then I'm not leaving. Helplessly. Jake Thompson obediently admitted defeat. Let Sophie Sullivan take advantage twice more. A sweet taste passed over the lips. Sophie Sullivan's face showed a satisfied smile. She glanced at the clock. Only 2 minutes had passed. Uncle and Auntie probably just got downstairs. Little boyfriend, you must properly receive Uncle and Auntie. Sophie Sullivan grabbed her purse. While changing shoes, gently saying. Waving goodbye to Jake Thompson, what needed doing is done. Plus kissed back enough. Quickly retreat. Today really was a happy day. Jake Thompson plopped down on the sofa. Though Miss Sullivan took advantage. But finally passed this hurdle. However, when Sophie Sullivan opened the door, she hesitated, not leaving. Even looking a bit dazed. Wife. Leave quickly. Why are you standing there? If unwilling, I can kiss you one more time. But what answered Jake Thompson wasn't Sophie Sullivan's reaction. But laughter from outside, both gentle and kind. Yet familiarly spine-chilling. Oh my, such a beautiful girl. Why leaving in such a hurry? Quickly change to slippers, come in. Chat with Auntie a bit. Damn, it's real. Jake Thompson immediately understood why Sophie Sullivan stood frozen. Turns out not that she didn't want to leave. But couldn't leave anymore. At that moment, it flashed in his mind. Finally understood Jack Thompson's earlier look. Meaning, son, careful, there's a trap. Really done for. Jake Thompson muttered. Sophie Sullivan's face flushed with embarrassment. Being pulled in by Diana Lee's arm. Changing to indoor slippers. Most terrifying is when atmosphere suddenly goes silent. Son, mom brought the person back for you. Now kiss. Kiss right in front of mom. Let mom see. The smile on Diana Lee's face almost overflowing. Eyes glued to Jake Thompson. The ancients weren't wrong. Husband and wife like birds in same forest. When disaster strikes, they fly separate ways. Oh, stomach hurts. I'm going to bathroom. Jake Thompson held his stomach, running straight to bathroom without looking back. Still sending Sophie Sullivan a look. Wife. Mom is targeting you. She won't make it hard for you. But me different. I'll only get scolded here. Hold on, defend yourself. I'm retreating first. Sophie Sullivan puffed her cheeks angrily. Really wanting to jump up and pull Jake Thompson back. But beside her, Diana Lee was still smiling, watching her. Tisk tisk, this girl is really pretty. At the bathroom door, Jack Thompson blocked Jake Thompson. Son, too foolish. Didn't Dad already signal you with my eyes? Dad, please, don't say any more. Today my brain short-circuited, Jake Thompson choked. About to cry. Thousands of words only becoming one sentence. Hard to explain everything, Dad. Jack Thompson sighed, hugging Jake Thompson's shoulders. Your mom was targeting this. Layer upon layer of traps, you not guessing is normal. Did you hide the girl's purse? By the sofa, right? Your mom saw it immediately when entering. Searched around, couldn't find the person. So pretended not to know. Directly ambushed outside the door. She knew you'd personally deliver the girl into her trap. See, Now your mom has closed the net. After hearing this whole conspiracy, Jake Thompson was horrified. Don't say it's me. Even Jesus standing up would fall into the trap. That purse hidden so well, how did mom discover it? Truly my 1,000-mile vision mother. In the living room, Diana Lee looked at Sophie Sullivan more and more satisfied. Chatting a few sentences, she discovered this girl seemed born for her son. Even 3 years older than little Jake. Good, girl 3 years older is gold. Right. How long have you two known each other? Diana Lee patted Sophie Sullivan's hand, really interrogating thoroughly. Less than a week. Sophie Sullivan stammered, replying. Her heart was in chaos now. Whatever Diana Lee asked she answered. But the very next second, Diana Lee froze. Less than a week and already brought home by her son. If together a year, wouldn't she definitely be holding grandchildren already? Seeing the future mother-in-law's appearance, Sophie Sullivan regretted. Done for, done for. Didn't I cause a misunderstanding? Known less than a week already at Jake Thompson's house. Isn't that too easy? Would Auntie think that? Oh no, misspoke, must explain quickly. Auntie, actually Jake Thompson and I. You don't need to say more. Diana Lee directly cut off Sophie Sullivan, excitedly grabbing her hand. I understand everything. I have some specialties. Later I'll cook for you to try. We'll eat and talk. Actually not getting scolded. Right now in Sophie Sullivan's eyes, Diana Lee became gentle and kind. Yes, thank you Auntie. Seeing Sophie Sullivan nod, Diana Lee even happier, smiling brightly, praising good girl. Sophie Sullivan pouted, a feeling of being pampered rising in her heart. Is this food cooked by future mother-in-law? Didn't expect Auntie to be so approachable. He seems to quite like me too. So gentle like this, not at all scary like Jake Thompson said. Next second, Diana Lee suddenly turned back full of momentum, provocatively glancing at Jack Thompson sitting on sofa playing with phone. Old Jack, didn't you hear we're eating at home? Still not going downstairs to buy groceries? What are you hesitating for if I don't say it? You don't see any housework in your eyes. Jack Thompson jumped up, hurriedly standing up preparing to buy food. While Diana Lee, in just 1 second returned to gentle appearance. Oh right. Sullivan. I forgot to ask, what work do you do? Actually in Diana Lee's heart she thought. With a cute gentle girl like Sullivan. If she doesn't want to work, staying home taking care of husband and children is good too. So beautiful like this. If something happened would be such a pity. Besides her son works at a Fortune 500 company. Salary isn't little either. Family can also help somewhat. Young like this life would be comfortable. Fine, I'll be straight too. The Maserati downstairs is Sullivan's. Sullivan is my direct boss. Mom, what are you two talking about? Mom look, you scared her face all red. Jake Thompson smiled walking over. Just now in the bedroom thinking for 5 minutes. He'd completely figured it out. What's done is done. Can only face it calmly. Direct boss. To what extent? Diana Lee froze. Asking suspiciously. Even Jack Thompson preparing to open the door. Movement also paused, perking ears to listen. Jake Thompson nodded, casually pinching Sophie Sullivan's delicate face. Where I work is Fortune 500 leader corporation, specializing in luxury design and cosmetics for women. Sullivan is Leader Corporation's chairman. If not for Jack Thompson's experience, he'd probably have weak knees sitting on the floor. Diana Lee wasn't much better. Face full of shock. Sullivan really is. Jake Thompson pouted, sighing, Mom, things you don't understand. Just search Baidu and you'll know. One sentence like waking from a dream. Diana Lee's eyes lit up. Fortune 500 chairman. Can definitely be found on Baidu. She immediately pulled out phone searching Leader Corporation. Eye-catching headlines appeared before her. 3 years market value soared tenfold. Leader chairman, Sophie Sullivan. What makes her outstanding? Congratulations Leader Corporation. Becoming official partner of Paris Fashion Week. Top 3 female billionaires on Forbes. Leader chairman, Sophie Sullivan. How rich is she? Diana Lee's eyelids twitched continuously. Trying to swallow. Girl 3 years older really is treasure. Son, isn't this conquering the whole country? Moreover, a mobile beauty country. Awkward atmosphere for a moment. Still, Jack Thompson spoke first. Chairman Sullivan. How about we eat out? Home cooking, afraid you're not used to. These words made Sophie Sullivan panic. She hurriedly stood up, adorably embarrassed, continuously waving hands. Uncle, no need. I still want to eat Auntie's homemade food. Looking at Dad's unbelievable expression, Jake Thompson could only raise eyebrows, signaling, Dad. Hurry, go. Marrying means following husband. What I eat, she eats. Hearing this, Sophie Sullivan's face showed embarrassment, but still obediently nodded. Before going out, Jack Thompson gave his dear son another look. This time Jake Thompson understood clearly. Son, you're really capable. Diana Lee gasped hard, clearly 100 billion female chairman, yet pursued by her son. Though a bit outrageous, but not unacceptable. Initially thought this kid getting blank English paper in high school, still passing valedictorian, was already peak. Didn't expect now is the real peak. In a moment Diana Lee completely relaxed. Sullivan having capability is good, but already becoming my daughter-in-law. Then nothing to criticize. Sullivan, come here, tell Auntie. Is work usually tiring? Do you remember to eat on time? The next 20 minutes was the time period. Diana Lee continuously caring and asking about Sophie Sullivan. The more they talked, Sophie Sullivan discovered Diana Lee spacing out more. Her heart suddenly tensed, thinking, did I say something wrong? Turning to look at Jake Thompson doubtfully, only saw him helplessly shrugging. Jake Thompson himself couldn't guess Diana Lee's thoughts. Besides, Miss Sullivan's answers were completely fine. Mom shouldn't have this reaction. Really strange. What's wrong, Auntie? Sullivan, what exactly do you see in Jake Thompson? Diana Lee asked, full of doubt. Hearing Sophie Sullivan say being tired is okay. After all, thousands of employees need to eat. Now Diana Lee knew this was a responsible girl. Hearing Sophie Sullivan say product plans must aim for the best. Product quality must definitely be first class. Her image in Diana Lee's heart already shining brilliantly. To the point Diana Lee briefly thought, her kid doesn't deserve Sophie Sullivan. Jake Thompson's face full of black lines. Without a word turned and left. He felt he wasn't suitable to be here. Jack Thompson bought fresh meat and fish. Diana Lee immediately started cooking, while Sophie Sullivan frowned slightly. She felt she couldn't just sit on the sofa. Gently biting her lower lip, walking into the kitchen. Auntie, let me help. Diana Lee nodded, indeed wanting to make many dishes, so a bit busy. Sullivan, just help me peel and cut some potatoes. Yes. Sophie Sullivan rolled up her sleeves, revealing fair arms. Just cutting potatoes shouldn't be a problem, right? Carefully entering the kitchen, Sophie Sullivan took the knife. This was still her first time in a kitchen. Sharpening knife sounds, aiming at the potato. Sophie Sullivan carefully started. Seeing her movements, Diana Lee, originally quick-handed, just smiled kindly, but then raised eyebrows, shouting directly, Jack Thompson, come help me here. What the hell are you thinking? Letting Sullivan help me cook? You don't see any housework in your eyes? Jack Thompson was excitedly bragging to Jake Thompson. Hearing this shout, only felt cold on his back, hair standing on end. At dinner time, 4 people gathered around the table. Table full of delicious dishes, color, fragrance, taste all complete. Taste buds severely provoked, though usually a bit fierce. Diana Lee's cooking skills really were masterpiece. Jake Thompson's stomach had been growling for long. If not for having a flower-like beautiful wife beside, for kissing and hugging, he would have fainted from hunger. He held chopsticks, immediately picked a piece of chili chicken into his mouth. Indeed, this flavor only Mom could make. Jake Thompson gave thumbs up, only received Diana Lee's glare in return. Kid, did Mom let you eat yet? Besides, don't you know to pick for Sullivan first? You're exactly like your father. No EQ at all. Jake Thompson sighed, not wanting to argue. Fine, not eating anymore. Sophie Sullivan laughed. Jake Thompson's appearance now so cute, looking like a bullied child, making people infatuated. My little boyfriend, Jake Little Thompson. Right when he was still dazed. His bowl was already filled by Jack Thompson. "Sullivan, try some of this meat, very delicious." "Don't be polite," Diana Lee quickly added, "remember Auntie's words. Being able to eat is fortune." The two of them cooperating like this, in Sophie Sullivan's eyes, was clear agreement and blessing. But Jake Thompson wasn't comfortable at all. Right now his forehead full of black lines. He started doubting himself, whether he's biological or not. "My meat all gone, all picked for Miss Sullivan." "Excuse me, I'm your biological child." Suddenly, Sophie Sullivan picked more than half a bowl of meat, put into Jake Thompson's bowl, gave him a gentle look full of affection. "Share half with you, HMPH. Auntie's cooking is too delicious. I originally planned to eat it all. But fortune should be shared together. How could I let my little boyfriend go hungry?" Table full of delicacies, toasting back and forth. 4 people sipping wine. Atmosphere extremely warm. After dinner, cleaning dishes done. Diana Lee smiled sitting on sofa, eyes staring at precious daughter-in-law. "Sullivan, what time do you usually sleep? Uncle and I staying here. Won't affect you too, right?" Jake Thompson gasped hard. Oh God. Mom's tricky question, really making it difficult for Miss Sullivan. He turned to look. Indeed, Sophie Sullivan's face already flushed red. He quickly mediated, "Mom, Sullivan needs to go home to sleep. Mom, stop worrying randomly." Diana Lee's heart tightened, face full of disappointment. Oh God. Why is Mom's blood pressure soaring like this? Known for almost a week still not sleeping together? "Son, do you want Mom to shut up?" "Sullivan, listen to me. So late already, sleep here. You going home alone is dangerous." "I'm not at ease." Sophie Sullivan froze slightly. Auntie's gentle tone and kind expression, really hard to refuse, right at this hesitant moment, made Diana Lee smell the scent of hope. There's a chance. Today, even if Mom has to risk half her old life. Must keep Sullivan here. Just about to speak but cut off by Jake Thompson. "Mom, what's unsafe about driving? Besides, I'll drive Sullivan home later. What are you worried about?" Diana Lee, while Jack Thompson crossed legs scrolling short videos, glimpsing his wife's dark face, couldn't help laughing. "Oh wife. Didn't expect this day. Son is capable, though a bit foolish this time. But seeing damn her suffering, Dad's heart feels refreshed. Swan Lake Villa District. Tomorrow morning obediently wait at home for me." Sophie Sullivan looked at Jake Thompson mischievously. "Wife, tomorrow is Monday. Aren't you going to company?" Jake Thompson was just a small RD employee. Could take leave anytime. But if Sophie Sullivan doesn't work, heavens, how many documents would pile up? "Not going. Isn't Auntie staying until tomorrow noon? I need to spend more time with Auntie." Corner of Jake Thompson's mouth curved into a smile. He gently tapped Sophie Sullivan's nose. "Now you're not embarrassed anymore, right?" "Who's embarrassed?" "HMPH, I've never been embarrassed, okay? That time was just the first meeting, so I was a bit introverted. But now I'm not shy at all." Having said that, Sophie Sullivan obediently closed her eyes. Oh, Jake Thompson found it strange. Why does Miss Sullivan like goodbye kisses so much? Wanting them every day, but have to pamper my wife. Jake Thompson just arrived home. Pushing the door open, immediately saw Mom sitting seriously on the sofa. "Kid, come here to Mom," Diana Lee's voice rang out. This roar made Jake Thompson tremble all over. "What's wrong, Mom?" Diana Lee, breathing heavily, just held back for quite a while. Thinking son finding a girlfriend isn't easy. Praising might not praise, but at least shouldn't scold, right? But she really couldn't hold it anymore. "Are you stupid?" Jake Thompson's face full of black lines. "What did I do? If Mom's scolding, at least let me die clearly." Looking at son's appearance like living without attachment. "Mom almost let Sullivan stay overnight. Even if she sleeps in your room, and you sleep on sofa, is still progress. To facilitate future development." Thinking of this stupid son, she got even angrier. Finally Diana Lee sighed, waving hand. "Forget it. Remember this well for Mom. Mom only accepts Sullivan as daughter-in-law. Besides anyone else, Mom absolutely won't acknowledge." Jake Thompson, face full of black lines. Just chatted with parents about family matters. Then everyone went to sleep. Next morning, 7 o'clock. Jake Thompson already awake. Normally on Monday, even going to work he never wakes up this early. Has to be 7:30 to reluctantly crawl out. Sleep as much as possible. But today mom is still home. Jake Thompson didn't dare test her evolved lion's roar endurance. After washing face, he sent a message to William Harris, manager Wong. Today I'm taking leave. Message replied immediately. Okay, rest assured. Even if sky falls I'll carry it for you. Suddenly, Stephen Zhang's phone called. What's up? Stephen Zhang's excited voice rang from the other end. Mr. Thompson, someone wants to rent your building. Want to discuss with you a bit. This morning negotiating price. Jake Thompson almost dropped the phone. Heavens, truly a goldbroker, rented out a unit in one day. Must be some company. Thinking about it, only this possibility. Bigger companies usually have to rent employee dormitories. Many rent outside, and large quantities easier to negotiate price. Right, it's a company. Temporarily renting for 1 year as employee dormitory. Mainly just need to discuss price. When do you have time? I'll have their people come meet. Glancing at Diana Lee making breakfast. Then thinking Miss Sullivan will come later. Jake Thompson paused a bit. 1 hour later, meet at the transaction hall. Though renting to company as dormitory price will be lower. But Jake Thompson still felt okay. Because they won't default or run away. Stability is best, after all house doesn't cost anything. Whatever rent is still profit. Hanging up. Diana Lee smiled brightly coming from kitchen. Mom. Good morning, not sure if not hearing or deliberate. Mom didn't pay attention to Jake Thompson at all. But turned head, leaning close to balcony, trying to look downstairs. Mouth muttering, oh dear. Why haven't seen Sullivan's car yet? Daughter-in-law just one night not seeing. Already missing so much, sighing. Suddenly remembered seems son said something just now. Little Jake, what did you just say? Mom didn't hear clearly. Oh. You just called saying you have to go out for work, right? Fine, if Sullivan goes along then parents staying home is fine. You go ahead. Jake Thompson dazed. Completely confused. Early morning like being struck by lightning. Could mom be the type? Phone recharge comes with free son? Really stunned. Truly my biological mother. Finally Diana Lee waited for Sophie Sullivan. Good morning auntie. Sophie Sullivan wearing a light blue long dress. Light makeup. Hair down. Looking like a fairy just descended. Sullivan, what are you doing? Coming to boyfriend's house still bringing things? Indeed, besides Sophie Sullivan carried 3 gift bags. Actually she left home at 7. Last night she thought all night, auntie leaving tomorrow. If not buying some gifts. Seems not quite appropriate. So she went to Milky Way Plaza early. Result was they opened at 7:30. She stood waiting until opening. Carefully choosing gifts for Diana Lee. Gentle smile. Revealing sweet dimples. Oh dear, uncle and auntie. These small gifts are my heartfelt gesture. Even for Jake Thompson. It's both of us presenting to uncle and auntie. An exquisite gift box. Inside a DW watch. This was Sophie Sullivan's carefully prepared gift for Diana Lee. Mall listed price. $28,888. And for Jack Thompson 2 bottles of white liquor. Sophie Sullivan chose from her father's liquor cabinet. Searched long to find 2 bottles of Motai. Wife, listen to me. If they don't need it, give it to me. I want it. Jake Thompson's eyes bright, pouncing over. Taking the 2 bottles from Sophie Sullivan's hands. Watch not important. But looking at this liquor, it's really authentic. Jake Thompson was also half an alcoholic. Otherwise how could he get drunk enough to confess? And misread the note. He just glanced over. Already blurted out. Damn, shocking. Jack Thompson seeing son glancing at the liquor. Showing such shock. Heart itching, also laughed coming over. Little Jake. Don't you know this liquor? Let dad see. Let me enlighten you. He took the liquor box from Jake Thompson's hand. Looking carefully. Then gasped hard, horrified. Also blurted out perfectly. Damn. Seeing Jack Thompson so excited, Jake Thompson calmed down. After all, dad has seen a lot. Can only say this liquor is really too amazing. 1980s Motai. Just one bottle can be auctioned. According to current market price. Selling for $1 or $2 million, nothing strange. This is 2 bottles. That's 3 or 4 million just given away by my wife. Wife, did you take this from home? Sophie Sullivan was chatting with Diana Lee. Hearing Jake Thompson ask, she immediately replied, that's right. I took it from my dad's place. What's wrong? Is something wrong with this liquor? My dad shouldn't have bought fake liquor, right? Jake Thompson forced a smile. Scratching head leaning close to Sophie Sullivan, wife. I suggest you return 1 bottle to dad. Otherwise hard to explain. The liquor price Sophie Sullivan could accept. And Sophie Sullivan's father surely could accept too. What Jake Thompson worried about wasn't that. Mainly these 2 bottles are too rare. Could say. Asking Mr. Sullivan to give cash is fine. But demanding exactly these 2 bottles is like taking his life. Sophie Sullivan's face flushed red. Softly humming. You mean these 2 bottles are very expensive? Oh, that's great then. I was worried Uncle wouldn't like the gift. Now I'm relieved. A mischievous look flashed across her face, imitating Jake Thompson's tone from last night. Coaxing reply, hee hee. Gift I gave Uncle, don't worry anymore. Looking at the confidence on beautiful wife's face, Jake Thompson felt he should really reconsider. How rich exactly is his father-in-law? Rich to this terrifying degree? Right then Stephen Jong sent a message, saying the other party arrived. I have something to go out for. Seeing Jake Thompson had business, Sophie Sullivan hummed, standing up. Want to go with you? Jake Thompson almost jumped in panic, turning to press Sophie Sullivan back on sofa. Good wife, stay home chat with mom for me. I'll be back soon. Jake Thompson screamed inside, wife you really can't go. First, I'm going to rent out a whole building. This absolutely can't let Miss Sullivan know. Otherwise no way to explain. Second, if Diana Lee discovers Sophie Sullivan going along now, then definitely I'll be scolded for 3 to 5 years. In the small private room of the real estate brokerage center, Stephen Jong excited, pouring tea for the middle-aged man sitting on leather sofa. Chairman Sullivan, tea is a bit bitter. Please make do with it. The owner will come soon. Thomas Sullivan took a light sip. Couldn't help nodding agreement. Tea is indeed a bit bitter. But right now looking at Stephen Jong felt unusually pleasing. With excellent employees of Milky Way Plaza, Thomas Sullivan was never stingy. So employee dormitories were prepared early. Logically should be completed recently. But suddenly quality inspection found serious problems. This made Thomas Sullivan worried endlessly. Money isn't significant. Mainly this batch of excellent talents. If they leave because of dormitories, the loss would be much greater. So he told secretary to find any area renting whole buildings. Initially didn't have much hope. Result there really was one. Moreover this place near Milky Way Plaza. This made old Sullivan happy to the corners of his mouth. Little Jong, about price I'll say simply. 20,000 per unit. That's my limit. If higher I can't accept. Remember to tell the owner beforehand. Thomas Sullivan said casually. Hearing this Stephen Jong frowned slightly. 20,000 per unit. A bit low, though considered bulk price. After all renting whole building. But Mr. Thompson hard to say. Forget it, I can't decide anyway. Just keep Chairman Sullivan first then figure out. Okay. Chairman Sullivan, owner should arrive soon. I'll go out to receive. In the transaction hall, Stephen Jong saw Jake Thompson approaching. Mr. Thompson, I just probed the other party's intention. 20,000 is probably the limit. See what you want to say. Jake Thompson took a deep breath. Feeling a bit annoyed inside. Garden residence. Though this area's quality a bit worse. But at least near city center. 20,000 should at least be 22,500. Truly typical capitalist face. Let me continue negotiating. Jake Thompson took deep breath, feeling a bit angry. Pushed door entering full of momentum. He planned to show cold face, my house. If renting say straight. But just looking. Oh, old Sullivan. Thomas Sullivan stunned. Heavens, now landlords to raise rent. Don't even need face anymore. Just meeting calling, old buddy, smooth tactics. But seeing clearly the person was Jake Thompson. Thomas Sullivan froze. "Oh dear, brother Jake. That building is yours?" Jake Thompson nodded casually, smiling. "Turns out old Sullivan wants to rent. Really coincidental. Stephen Zhang really capable. Great, two people just now faces heavy as lead. One insisting on one price. Who knew they know each other? Since that's the case, I'll excuse myself first." Two people waved hands. Stephen Zhang left the room. Jake Thompson and Thomas Sullivan sat facing each other, laughing together, have to say. Though only met few times. But Jake Thompson always felt familiar with him, like meeting too late, very compatible. So if Thomas Sullivan renting, price can be negotiated, but 20,000 definitely not acceptable. Old Sullivan, I have family matters. I'll be straight. This is luxury building. Living experience definitely very good. Milky Way Plaza employees living here. More convenient than anywhere. This is completely true. Garden residence indeed. Is the area closest to Milky Way Plaza. But since we're friends, I'll reduce price a bit, 22,500. What do you think? This building originally system gave me. Even renting for 1,000 I'd still profit. One unit reduced 2,500. 100 units means giving up 250,000. But getting Thomas Sullivan's favor. Jake Thompson thought very worthwhile. But Thomas Sullivan shook head, not acceptable. Corner of Jake Thompson's mouth twitched, heavens. Not acceptable, old Sullivan, haven't woken up? This price only equals unfinished housing outside. This is first tier in Boston. And you still think expensive? Remembering Stephen Zhang's words, Thomas Sullivan bid down, only 20,000. Jake Thompson confused. Could company be having financial problems? No cash flow, but logically impossible. After all, it's Milky Way Plaza's large entity corporation. Thinking back and forth, couldn't find explanation. Jake Thompson looked up asking, "Old Sullivan, can you explain what's wrong?" After all negotiating, Thomas Sullivan slightly squinted, corner of mouth curving into smile. Finally waited for opportunity. What he yearned for day and night. Now arrived. Indeed, searching everywhere without finding. "Brother Jake, your analysis isn't wrong at all. I say not acceptable because of price. Too low, really too low. You're taking a loss." Honestly, in Thomas Sullivan's heart felt extremely refreshed. This is Boston, 22,500 per unit you rent. Wouldn't brother Jake take huge loss? But he's his future son-in-law. After last time giving Jake Thompson, Thunder God's hammer. Thomas Sullivan always felt guilty wanting to give more. Because gave too little that time. Later asking friends. They all start from tens of millions. So these days, Thomas Sullivan guilty to insomnia. Price too low. Heavens, what wolf talk is old Sullivan saying? Is he trying to raise his own rent? Then according to old Sullivan, how much is appropriate? Jake Thompson naturally wouldn't take it seriously. Thinking Thomas Sullivan just casually saying to ease atmosphere. But immediately after the price Thomas Sullivan offered, almost made Jake Thompson spray tea on ceiling. 30,000, brother Jake. 30,000 originally is normal luxury. Apartment rent already. Renting whole building is like not bargaining. Before he could react, Thomas Sullivan continued. "Oh right, brother Jake. I heard from Little Jong this is new house? Never lived in before. 30,000 is a bit low. Add 5,000 new house depreciation fee. So total 35,000. Jake Thompson stunned. Could old Sullivan not be here to rent? But to do charity? Old Sullivan, stop joking. This price is a bit much. Hearing Jake Thompson mention this, Thomas Sullivan gasped hard. Indeed a bit much. He slapped thigh laughing heartily. Brother Jake, you also think adding 5,000 sounds harsh, right? Like this, I'm not calculating person. Today not bargaining with you anymore. One price 40,000 straight. Someone please catch Jake Thompson's about to fly eyebrows. He's completely stunned. This is called not bargaining? Clearly I quoted 22,500. But you force rent up double. This moment, Jake Thompson really doubted who's actually renting. First time seeing renter raising price themselves. Old Sullivan, I'm feeling dizzy. Thomas Sullivan waved hand. patting Jake Thompson's shoulder. Still think too little? Jake Thompson quickly shook head. Damn, what if later Thomas Sullivan doubles again? My just over 20-year-old heart can't take it. Not little, actually a bit much. Thomas Sullivan laughed hee. Much so what? Even if I lose all fortune. Can't let brother take loss. Little Jong, come sign contract. A shout full of momentum. Stephen Jong heard and entered. He was very confused. Logically, negotiation between big shots should take long. Why so fast? Walking close to two people, he keenly discovered Chairman Sullivan full of joy, while Mr. Thompson face full of black lines. Heavens, looking like this. Seems Chairman Sullivan convinced Mr. Thompson. 20,000, well, temporarily acceptable. Mr. Thompson probably won't lose much. Little Jong, I and brother Jake know each other. Contract just formality, but price you must write clearly. Thomas Sullivan seriously instructed. Stephen Jong understood. Chairman Sullivan difficultly pressed price to 20,000, emphasizing contract price as appropriate. Rest assured, Chairman Sullivan. Thomas Sullivan satisfied, nodding. 1 unit, annual rent written 40,000. By the way, calculate total agency fee. Later I'll pay you all. Stephen Jong bowed, smiling, nodding. Yes, Chairman Sullivan. But he bent down, couldn't stand straight. What the hell is this? 1 unit 40,000. He swallowed hard, struggling to stand straight, face full of shock. Chairman Sullivan. 40,000. Jake Thompson raised eyebrows, smiling. Huh, shocked yet? Shocked enough even God would be stunned. Thomas Sullivan raised eyebrows, asking, Any problem? 40,000, I just discussed with brother Jake. Heavens. 40,000. Stephen Jong amazed, mouth agape. He really wanted to kneel before Jake Thompson. Don't understand what Mr. Thompson said. To make Chairman Sullivan like this. What Stephen Jong admired most was Thomas Sullivan still full of joy. That expression. Like old ladies buying low-quality massagers. Still smiling bright as flowers. But Chairman Sullivan isn't that foolish. Sign contract, transfer money, all procedures very fast. Jake Thompson and Thomas Sullivan walked out of brokerage center side by side. Old Sullivan, I have family matters. I'll go first. When there's chance I'll definitely invite you for drinks. Whether person is friendly or not. Just look at their eyes to know. Thomas Sullivan offering such price. Jake Thompson really worried might be trap. But money already in account. Contract immediately effective. Thomas Sullivan's eyes looking at him. Besides admiration, only respect. Perhaps really fool with lots money. Okay, brother Jake, remember your words. Let me tell you, my home still has 2 bottles premium Motai. As long as you speak. We'll open immediately. Jake Thompson smiled, nodding. Okay, goodbye. Jake Thompson turned, going home. Thomas Sullivan sighed softly. Worthy of dragon son-in-law in my heart. In Boston can buy whole luxury building in one go. Still working as small employee at Leader. Living in normal residential area like this. Really humble yet still exuding elegance. Has real substance. His eyes followed Jake Thompson's receding figure. Heart full of emotion. The more looking more satisfied. Thomas Sullivan more looking more pleasing. But when turning head, he froze. Isn't that Maserati Quattroporte Sullivan's? In that moment, Thomas Sullivan's whole body hair stood up. Today is Monday. Dragon son-in-law not working. Sullivan's car also here. Proves Sullivan also not working. This morning clearly Sullivan left home at 7. Just now Dragon son-in-law also hurried back. The more thinking more scared. Sullivan and Dragon son-in-law. Have something must do today? And so hurried. Mind flashing bright. Corner of Thomas Sullivan's mouth showing cunning smile. Could they be preparing to make grandchildren for me? No good, I must guard here. If later Sullivan and Dragon son-in-law come down hand in hand. Just happened to see me. That scene definitely spectacular. Thomas Sullivan smacked lips. Having children really big project. Looking at little Jake's appearance quite healthy. Maybe I have to wait here several hours. After all 2 hours not much. Young people, can't just once and done. Good thing my body healthy, can wait. But what surprised Thomas Sullivan was, just 3 minutes later, Jake Thompson came out. So fast? Heavens. Impossible. Thomas Sullivan secretly cried, not good. Quickly hiding from Gap, observing Jake Thompson's every move. Only saw Jake Thompson get in Maserati Quattroporte, started car and drove away. Total just 3 minutes, including time going up and down stairs. The more thinking, more spine-chilling. Thomas Sullivan couldn't help wondering, did I guess wrong? Actually, Sullivan originally not there. Just simply lending car to little Jake. Eyes suddenly contracted. Quick, follow closely. He pushed car door, hurriedly sitting in. Old Jaw, follow Mrs. Carr. Old Jaw was Thomas Sullivan's private driver. He also saw, just now was a man getting in Mrs. Carr. But he understood principle. Shouldn't ask, then absolutely don't ask. Yes, Mr. Sullivan. Familiar road. Unconsciously followed to Leader Corporation gate. Old Jaw saw Maserati drive into company. Hesitantly asked, Mr. Sullivan, do we need to follow in? Thomas Sullivan sighed softly. Perhaps I really thought wrong. Right, though Sullivan accepted little Jake. But with her personality, can't quickly go home with him like that. I'm being too hasty. Forget it, go back to Plaza. At research department, Jake Thompson went straight to William's office. Manager Wong, stuff prepared yet? William Harris, seeing Jake Thompson arrive. No more tea. Put down documents too. Even heart beating irregularly. Quickly smiled, welcoming. Already fully prepared for you. 3 exquisitely packaged cosmetic gift boxes. Jake Thompson just arriving home, front door. Already thought must prepare gifts for mom. These are products Leader Corporation researched themselves. Among them somewhat Jake Thompson's ideas and creativity. He naturally confident about quality. So asked William Harris to prepare beforehand. Quickly drive over to get them. Thank you, having said. Jake Thompson didn't linger, turned and left. But just that polite sentence made William Harris feel reborn. Heavens. Jake actually being polite with me like this. He forgave me. I'm about to be promoted. In garden residence, son. What are you doing again? Going out just to buy this? Diana Lee, seeing Jake Thompson carrying 3 exquisite cosmetic boxes, returning. Eyes lighting up. Laughing, scolding son spending money randomly. Then immediately snatched from hands, give me cosmetics. Her face full of satisfied smiles. Diana Lee turned, looking at Sophie Sullivan. Sullivan. These cosmetics I don't need. Old already, don't need those things. Your blooming age suits you. Diana Lee took gift just snatched from son's hands. Immediately gave to future daughter-in-law. Jack Thompson frowned tightly, finger pointing at Diana Lee, glancing at Jake Thompson. Look at your mom's appearance. Usually lacking nothing, but now to keep daughter-in-law giving everything away. Jake Thompson laughed lightly, raising eyebrows. Mom, just keep them. I didn't buy these. Got from Sullivan's company. She messaged me. Told me to get 2 cosmetic sets from company for mom. Our own brand using is reassuring. Sophie Sullivan, slightly stunned, immediately understood Jake Thompson's meaning, giggling. Little boyfriend giving me chance to show off? Then must grasp it. That's right, auntie, you're still very young. I'm afraid if we go out, people think we're sisters. Auntie, just use with confidence. Most of these have Jake Thompson participating in research. Diana Lee sighed contentedly, gently nodding. First liquor. Then watch, then cosmetics. Having daughter-in-law like this, she felt more than enough. Okay, Sullivan. Then I won't be polite anymore. But just now we were chatting. Didn't see you message little Jake. How did he know your intention? Sophie Sullivan's face instantly flushed red. Diana Lee's sharp question really made it difficult for her. Making up reason, isn't that deceiving, auntie? But explaining, wouldn't that expose everything? Right when Sophie Sullivan in dilemma. Jake Thompson stepped over, gently rubbing her small head, explaining to Diana Lee. Mom, Dad just looking at me once knows what I should do. Isn't that hearts connected? Sullivan and I same way. When I was about to leave, she glanced at me. I understood her meaning. Anyway, these cosmetics, Mom, just accept with confidence. Sophie Sullivan's eyes widened. slightly glancing at Jake Thompson, secretly exclaiming inside, "My little boyfriend so capable, even this can be turned around." Heavens, exactly, he is such a delicate, gentle man. The next moment, Sophie Sullivan felt warmth on her cheek. "What are you doing?" Sophie Sullivan flustered. Jake Thompson just kissed her. Right in front of parents. "Be good, stay chat with mom a while. I'll go talk with dad a bit." Decisive and clean. Kiss and run. "Dad, come here a moment. I have something to ask." In an instant, living room only left Sophie Sullivan and Diana Lee. Sophie Sullivan mischievously raised head, wanting to observe Diana Lee's expression. Just happened their eyes met. Sophie Sullivan's face flushed red, softly calling Auntie. Corner of Diana Lee's mouth slightly lifted. Said nothing. Just reached out, hugging Sophie Sullivan tightly. In bedroom, Jack Thompson plopped on bed, glaring at Jake Thompson, scolding softly, "Kid, you're really something now. Now even feeding parents dog food." Right after tone changed. "Has the bearing just like me when young." Jack Thompson and Diana Lee originally weren't old-fashioned, especially being father. He always believed, ocean wide for fish to jump, sky high for birds to fly. He believed his capable son, Jake Thompson, would fly high, fly far. "Here, Dad's salary card, take it. Stop secretly driving to earn cigarette money." Jack Thompson momentarily stunned. Looking at salary card Jake Thompson handed over. Hesitated, not taking immediately. Instead asking back, "Son, how do you know Dad drives privately earning money? Did Mom tell you?" Exposed? Jake Thompson shook head. "Friends from hometown saw Dad driving passengers. Then told me. Mom doesn't know." "Right, though I came to Boston. But hometown still has friends." Jack Thompson pouted, glaring at son. Go go go. This kid already found girlfriend both beautiful and understanding like Sullivan. You must know can't let her suffer. If can give must give the best. When does your dad need your money? Put it away, don't make dad lose face." Seeing dad firmly refusing, expression lacking patience, Jake Thompson sighed. Thoughts suddenly flew to past life. One cold snowy winter day. Dad lifetime addicted to cigarettes and alcohol. But mom worried about his health. Always strictly controlled money in his hands, later dad hospitalized. Jake Thompson hurried back from seaside. Only then knew from long-term labor, plus driving long time sitting, made Jack Thompson's back seriously ill. Past life Jake Thompson didn't grow fast enough. Had no ability. This life already has ability. How could he not act? Fine then. Mom strictly managing dad's pocket money is for dad's good. But man without some money in hand doesn't look right. In summary, if someone reports dad driving privately again, I'll tell mom about dad secretly buying cigarettes and alcohol. Actually just now I rented out a building. Collected over $4 million rent. Initially planned to give parents. But thinking again, giving too much money might not be good. Hard to explain is one aspect. More importantly, for parents, what they most want to see is children living properly, reasonable is best. So, Jake Thompson abandoned idea of directly giving rental money card. Just gave salary card. Leader corporation employee salary card. Jake Thompson calculating subsidies. Monthly also 20-30,000. Jack Thompson laughed softly. A bit emotional, originally tough man. Almost cried, laughing while scolding. Damn kid. You still care about dad? No need, didn't you still eat and drink without salary? Using Sullivan's money? Jake Thompson's face full of black lines. Snatching back card, scolding softly. Fine then. Do I look like freeloading man? Even if freeloading. Must freeload with head held high, understand? I have talent for research and invention. Lecturing once earns several thousand. Since dad won't accept, then I'll give mom. Shaking head while sighing. Jake Thompson's face full of helplessness. Next moment, Jack Thompson pulled his hand, scolding softly. Damn kid. One lecture several $1,000s. Did you join pyramid scheme? Seeing Jake Thompson's face darken, Jack Thompson laughed hee-hee, signaling he's just joking. Give it to dad, this money can't give mom. Otherwise, house will have no room for her handbags. Dad will keep for you. Wait until you propose to Sullivan. We'll organize grandly. Important is can't give Mom. Speaking fairly. Driving privately really tiring. Plus many cumbersome regulations. Running few trips already back sore and aching. Another abundant lavish lunch. After eating, Jack Thompson and Diana Lee preparing to leave. Carrying big and small bags. Loaded full into Jack Thompson's black Passat. Jake Thompson called by Mom, Diana Lee. Little Jake, you can guess what Mom wants to say. Jake Thompson nodded. Like an emotionless machine. Treat Sullivan well. Pamper her. Love her. Mom only acknowledges her as sole daughter-in-law if you bully her. Mom will immediately come teach you. Diana Lee satisfied nodding. Giving thumbs up praising. Worthy of Mom's son. These reminders. Diana Lee repeated countless times already. Watching car slowly leaving. Jake Thompson finally breathed relief. Sophie Sullivan mischievously patted his back. Little boyfriend. Do we need to go to company this afternoon? Secretary Zhang just reported to me. Still pile of documents to process. Jake Thompson smiled slightly. One hand picking up Sophie Sullivan. Carrying her straight upstairs. Go to work for what? My wife is company CEO. Why'd I need to work? Those documents? What are other executives for? Let them handle. Sophie Sullivan pouted humming. I knew Jake Thompson you didn't have the heart to work. How can you be so unmotivated? Hee. Actually I don't want to go either. After all I'm already the little boss lady. Leaning close to Jake Thompson's ear. Sophie Sullivan deliberately blew a fragrant breath. Let's go watch a movie this afternoon. By Swan Lake Shore, Thomas Sullivan. Face beaming looking at the photo on his phone. In the photo were 4 people. Little brother Jake Thompson. Along with his precious daughter. And a middle-aged couple. Half hidden by tree shadows covering their bodies and faces. Almost completely covered. Smart as I am. Guessing those 2 must be my in-laws. This morning seeing Jake Thompson drive into Leader Corporation. Thomas Sullivan indeed returned to Milky Way Plaza. But sitting in the office thinking endlessly. Still felt something wasn't right. Perhaps being fooled by Jake Thompson once. Thomas Sullivan's heart still had some wariness. So he was especially cautious. Quickly told old Jaw to drive himself. To Leader Corporation gate to watch. Indeed, not long after Jake Thompson drove home again. He told old Jaw to continue waiting below the residence. And that's how he got this photo. The only regret was just now an urgent matter needed handling. Otherwise could have met the Thompson family right there. Perhaps Sullivan's marriage could have been settled already. But the problem wasn't big. Sullivan seemed to have met Jake's parents already. Moreover, the impression didn't seem bad. Then I must act quickly too. Soon secure this golden son-in-law. Opening the liquor cabinet, planning to take a bottle to drink. Thomas Sullivan smiled walking over. But looking once, he immediately froze. Damn, where's my liquor? 2 bottles of 1980s Modi disappeared. Damn it, vanished without a trace. Could I have drunk them and not remembered? Or did wife and Sullivan drink them? Impossible. Then where did they go? Could they grow legs and walk away? What are you looking for, so frantically? Mary Lee looked at Thomas Sullivan surprised. Just went to kitchen to prepare dinner. Already saw husband looking like he lost $8 million. Hey wife, have you seen my 2 bottles of liquor? The 2 bottles placed in the leftmost compartment. Mary Lee breathed relief. Thought something major. But looking closer, felt more suspicious. Stop looking. I know where they went. This morning Sullivan took them. Said to give to a friend. Must be for her little boyfriend who likes drinking. Boys drinking some liquor is normal. You have so much liquor. Usually so careless. Lost 2 bottles. And discovered immediately, really strange. Thomas Sullivan took a deep breath. Those were the most precious 2 bottles. Just gave them away like that? This destructive daughter. She really thinks dad's liquor is all the same? There are different grades, you know. Well, ultimately gave to boyfriend anyway. Thomas Sullivan stunned for a moment. Quickly pulled out phone to open that photo again. Could vaguely see, in Jake Thompson's father's hands carrying. Seemed like 2 bottles of liquor. Zoom in more. Aren't these my 2 bottles? What's wrong, Mr. Sullivan? What's the big deal? Just 2 bottles of liquor. Mary Lee found it strange and quickly asked. Thomas Sullivan slightly frowned. Then his face bloomed with bright smile. Damn. My daughter is truly smart. Giving this liquor to future father-in-law. What could be better? Already captured a middle-aged man's heart. Heavens, 4 million. 1980s modi, hard to buy even with money. Don't say 2 bottles. Even if expensive, still worth it. My daughter originally so cold. Gave everything to in-laws. Worth it, truly worth it. This money spent so appropriately. City Avenue, Boston. Jack Thompson pulled over roadside. Sighed, seems tired, deflated. Call little Jake then. Tell him to bring air pump. Diana Lee frowned slightly. Indeed, the road just now was bumpy. Though often nagging Jack Thompson. But she was also reasonable. Nodding slightly. Then that's the only way. About to call Jake Thompson. Saw a middle-aged man approaching. What's wrong? Need help? Jack Thompson's eyes lit up. From pocket took out 2 cigarettes, handing over. Tire deflated. Does your car have a pump? Middle-aged man laughed heartily. Taking the cigarette, stunned a bit. Turned looking at daughter in car. Then relaxed, lighting cigarette. This type of pump I always have ready. Wait a moment please. Turning shouted. Moon, get the pump from the car. Diana Moon in car glanced at dad. Didn't really want to move. But still obediently got out, took pump and handed over. Here. Girl smiled, handing to Jack Thompson. Jack Thompson quickly thanked profusely. Turned to pump the tire. Touched it, should be temporarily fine. Go home to garage for new tire. Thank you. Dylan Tang smiled, waving hand. Just now she drove right behind Jack Thompson's car. While distracted, saw in the Passat several liter cosmetic boxes. Moreover, premium gift boxes specially ordered. So guessed the middle-aged couple before her. Must have children working at Leader. Seeing them in trouble, she immediately stopped. Thus the scene just now. Nothing really. Anyone driving can encounter small matters. Usually should check more carefully. Dylan Tang chatted with Jack Thompson a few sentences. Diana Lee's eyes fell on Diana Moon again. This girl looks quite pretty. Like a rich family's miss. But still far from Sullivan. After all, the daughter-in-law halo. In Diana Lee's eyes now. Sophie Sullivan was the absolute best. Jack Thompson and Diana Lee continued on their way. While Diana Moon returned to car. Immediately pouted, looking at her dad. Dad really is too kind-hearted. Meddling in everything. This afternoon I plan to watch movie with best friend. Been suffocating at home these days, need to get out for air. Hearing that, hummed, fine then. Outwardly agreeing with daughter. Actually in heart already thinking of the image of Jake Thompson. Holding daughter's hand, strolling and watching movies. Making his face flush red. Okay. Dad will cover all expenses. Movies cost money too. Dad will transfer you 100,000, enough? Diana Moon stunned. Dad. What are you saying? Movies for 100,000? Usually monthly allowance at most 100,000. What's with Dad today? Did he win 8 million gambling? Or got stimulated somehow? Dylan Tang pouted, laughing mockingly. HMPH. What could stimulate me? 100,000 is still little. Just movies? Why not go shopping? Buy some clothes. If late, then don't come home. As long as no moderation. Dad won't object. Diana Moon gasped cold air. Turned face to window. Too lazy to pay attention to Dylan Tang anymore. What moderation? Really don't understand. Acting mysterious all day. Garden Residence Complex. Wife, I'm going to bathroom. Stomach hurts, Jake Thompson said, face full of black lines. That expression looked like constipation. Go quickly, go quickly. Sophie Sullivan laughed, waving hand. Jake Thompson said nothing more, went straight to bathroom. He really wasn't constipated, understand? Just finished hugging and kissing girlfriend. Suddenly constipated. Dare you open the coffin and ask Jesus if that's believable? Going to bathroom definitely for another reason. He needed to draw 4 more times. System, let me draw rewards. 4,000 bonding points, let me draw 4 times. That's right, Jake Thompson went to bathroom to draw rewards. These 2 days too many things happened. But daily bonding points, Jake Thompson never missed. Thanks to Diana Lee and Jack Thompson's surprise attack, Jake Thompson and Sophie Sullivan's relationship progressed rapidly. Bonding points also increased to 70 points. Unlocked new level system rewards. Daily bonding points increased to 1,500. Even drawing rewards upgraded. All rewards doubled. Hope nobody's thinking wrong. Ding! Congratulations, host received Golden Luck 66,666 United States dollars. Ding! Congratulations, host received title, European Emperor. Ding! European Emperor online drawing rewards. Congratulations, host received Thunder Tech Company X1. Ding! Congratulations, host received 51% shares of New Asia Entertainment. Heavens, really? New Asia Entertainment shares, moreover absolute control. Jake Thompson stunned for a while. System granted items, definitely authentic. This name New Asia Entertainment. Jake Thompson knew too well. This was the hottest entertainment company domestically. Created countless first-tier stars and traffic celebrities. 4 Little Flowers. Whole group of veteran artists all cooperated with New Asia Entertainment. Just comparing. That Thunder Tech Company seemed weaker. Jake Thompson never heard this name. But how could system gifts be bad? Of course impossible. Better check Google. Google Encyclopedia just updated few minutes ago. But looking carefully. Heavens, it's the company behind game, Thunderhammer. Jake Thompson shocked. This game I created too? System, is this special reward? Jake Thompson stunned. Just for me? System replied. Yes, for you. Damn, explain clearly to me. System. The game. Thunderhammer. Originally I randomly made up. Just to prepare for 70-point reward pool. Jake Thompson angrily cursed. Understood now. So these days I've been playing that. Was set up by this damn system. He even fought bosses daily. Woke up 5 a.m. for guild missions, even recharged money. No wonder system said from beginning. Recharge channel completely legitimate. For a long while Jake Thompson didn't know what to say. Could only sigh helplessly. Right now in living room. Sophie Sullivan slightly frowned. Propping chin. She found it strange. Why Jake Thompson in bathroom so long? Already almost 20 minutes. Jake Thompson once said. If don't understand, check Google. Sophie Sullivan took out phone. In search bar typed a line. After hugging and kissing. Boyfriend in bathroom 20 minutes, why? Heavens, not searching fine. Just searched, got shocked. Answer 1. Looks like bathroom. Actually practicing skills. Answer 2. How stimulating kissing and hugging. Male hormones. Answer 3. Kissing hugging leads to reaction, what to do. Please enter bathroom. High speed. Remember seatbelt. Pure innocent girl like Sophie Sullivan how could understand. Basically couldn't read real meaning. Slightly frowning. She opened answer 3 page. Kissing hugging finished having reaction, what to do. Please enter bathroom. This problem. Seems very fitting Jake Thompson's situation. Thinking about it makes sense. Sophie Sullivan clicked open detailed answer. Reading intently. Article author. About this problem. I have actual experience. When kissing hugging. Both sides hormones surge. This phenomenon. Really very normal. Especially 20-something men. As long as girlfriend not too ugly. More or less will react. That's completely normal. Just reading few lines. Sophie Sullivan's face already flushed red. What is this? She really never thought about that. But after all, also studied high school biology. Biology class surely studied before. She gritted teeth reading on. Face red to ear tips. Until seeing last line. If boyfriend has similar reaction. Please don't panic. Be more tolerant. He's a hot-blooded man. Absolutely don't interrupt. If scared, afraid will regret lifetime. Sophie Sullivan quickly exited page. Deleted whole app. Breathing heavily few times. Heavens, why make people blush like this? So Jake Thompson also has that reaction. Want to call him once. But remembered advice. Absolutely don't interrupt. She swallowed words down. 5 minutes later. Jake Thompson walked out from bathroom. Wife, movie starts at 4. Now only 2:30. How about we rest a bit first? Jake Thompson glanced at Sophie Sullivan sitting on sofa. Both hands hugging pillow. Face showing clear embarrassment. Eyes also flickering uneasily. This made him somewhat suspicious. Hugging, kissing. Already past half hour still blushing? Jake Thompson, you finished? Sophie Sullivan stunned. Turning to meet Jake Thompson's eyes, Little boyfriend smiled cheerfully. Must be that. Jake Thompson didn't pay much attention. He thought Sophie Sullivan asking about stomach ache. Waved hand. Smiling said just now was a bit uncomfortable. But now much better. Clear spirit, refreshed mood. Comfortable feeling. Raising hand, drawing rewards, got 2 whole companies. Who wouldn't be happy? But Sophie Sullivan avoided eye contact. Directly buried face in pillow. This made Jake Thompson surprised. What's wrong, wife? Hearing that gentle, caring voice, Sophie Sullivan's whole body trembled. Quickly waved, signaling Jake Thompson don't come close. In her head appeared Google's answer again. Rest, isn't that lying on bed? What if he can't control himself? How can I refuse? Such gentle and handsome boyfriend. No, no. Too early, too early. Run, run, run. Let's quickly go watch movie. 4 o'clock showing. Late, we'll miss it. She stammered, finished speaking. Like a frightened little rabbit. Ran away, disappearing. Jake Thompson scratched head. I just pretended stomach ache. Went bathroom to draw rewards. Why is she like this? Milky Way Plaza, 4th floor entertainment center. Sophie Sullivan arm in arm with Jake Thompson. Leaning against him. This was her first time watching movie with someone else. Before, not to mention men. Even women never went together. Don't know what feeling it'll be. Thinking of Jake Thompson beside her. Definitely will be very interesting and sweet. Little boyfriend. Just now. Manager Wong from Star Entertainment messaged me. Our private screening room ready. Don't do anything naughty. Jake Thompson gasped backwards. Just watching movie, private screening room? His brain spun quickly. He only thought of one possibility, wife. Don't tell me you booked whole cinema. Sophie Sullivan's big round eyes showed slight confusion. Heart beating rapidly. Obediently nodded. That's right, aren't movies all private rooms? Before, when I went alone. Also sat alone in 2nd floor screening room. What's wrong? Heavens, Jake Thompson severely shocked. Originally today he planned to book tickets. But Sophie Sullivan said already arranged. Didn't expect booked private screening room. My silly rich girlfriend. Never even experienced normal movie watching. Fine then, wife. I'll go buy 2 tickets. Tell manager Wong. We don't need private room anymore. Sophie Sullivan stunned, asking, why? Isn't it quieter that way? Jake Thompson pondered, then answered, anyway. Listen to me, won't be wrong. Right. Listening to Jake Thompson, definitely not wrong. Sophie Sullivan firmly believed that. Little boyfriend. Every time you bring surprises and romance. Then I'll tell manager Wong. Through cinema ticket lobby doors. Looking at crowded people inside. Jake Thompson slightly frowned. Must hurry, might run out of tickets. Wife, wait here for me. I'll buy tickets. Crowded masses jostling. Have to say, Jake Thompson's luck still very good. The movie he and Sophie Sullivan chose was a comedy about mother-child love. And screening room. He chose couples room. Just bought last pair of tickets. Seeing Sophie Sullivan on phone. Listening a bit seemed like work matters. Jake Thompson signaled with eyes for her to wait here. Then turned walking to nearby bubble tea shop. Drinks in cinema expensive and bad. He didn't want to spend money buying frustration. 2 cups taro pearl milk tea with brown sugar, 70% sugar. After ordering, Jake Thompson holding receipt, planning to find seat to wait. Suddenly turned around. Eyes immediately met Diana Moon dressed lavishly. Heavens, isn't that shallow, miss? Jake Thompson rolled eyes, too lazy to care. But Diana Moon was about to explode with anger. Face full of black lines. Actually, when Jake Thompson just entered bubble tea shop, best friend beside already noticed him. Continuously pulling her hand, excitedly calling, ultimate heartthrob. Diana Moon raised head looking. Seeing Jake Thompson's face, Fire in heart blazing fiercely. Blood pressure soaring. Yet now, Jake Thompson still dared roll eyes disdaining her, this bastard. Best friend beside also stunned. Gently asked, Moon. You know him? Diana Moon squinted eyes. Tone wishing could grind Jake Thompson to dust. Not just no, but mortal enemies. Suddenly, she noticed in Jake Thompson's hands holding 2 movie tickets. Also Unlucky Star Entertainment Cinema. Kiki. Let's go to New Century's Starlight Cinema. I don't want to watch here anymore. Having said, Diana Moon stood up and left. Thinking of Jake Thompson arrogantly throwing property deeds. Fire blazed in her heart again. She absolutely didn't want any interaction with that bastard. Maggie, though confused, still grabbed bubble tea, quickly following Diana Moon's footsteps. This scene made Jake Thompson couldn't help laughing. Smart indeed. Knowing to run is considered alert. Just now so stubborn. Now obedient. Just now Jake Thompson clearly read fury in Diana Moon's eyes. Actually, he was prepared. If Diana Moon caused trouble, he wouldn't mind teaching again. Oh no, that's not called teaching, but helping. Feminism, return to right path. Excuse me, sir. Are you who ordered 2 taro pearl milk teas? 2 cups 70% sugar. Suddenly a bubble tea shop girl approached Jake Thompson. Yes. What's wrong? Jake Thompson keenly noticed. On uniform different name tag. Store manager's face showed gentle smile. It's like this, sir. Due to too many customers today. When staff prepared, mistakenly made 1 cup 50% sugar. And 1 cup 70% sugar. Now remaking for you. You might need to wait a bit more. Jake Thompson waved hand. Thought something major. Oh, at bubble tea shop, what major thing? No problem, just leave it. Girl bowed, apologizing. Thank you for understanding. Really sorry, but right now. In front of Golden Cinema suddenly appeared strange scene. Passers-by, especially men, would all slow down, eyes unconsciously looking one direction. A girl in light blue long dress, Sophie Sullivan, standing there, eyes gently looking around, obediently waiting for Jake Thompson looking like fairy. Don't know how many gazes attracted. Passerby, one heavens. Fairy descended to earth. Who would leave fairy waiting alone like this? Passerby, two, really not human. If I had girlfriend like this, even death wouldn't let her wait. Passerby, three, heaven and earth. This is exactly young men's dream youth. Passers-by all exclaiming. Some even stopped from afar, wanting to see ultimately, what man, worthy of such fairy beauty. Right now Jake Thompson carrying 2 bubble teas. Approaching Sophie Sullivan's side. Wife, your bubble tea, drink this cup. Jake Thompson gave Sophie Sullivan 70% sugar cup. Past life memories told him. This girl likes drinking 70% sugar type. Thank you, little boyfriend. Sophie Sullivan showed sweet smile. Corner of eye glimpsed label on cup in Jake Thompson's hand. 50% sugar? Not right. Few days ago talking with Secretary Jong, Sophie Sullivan knew Jake Thompson had stomach problems, but liked sweet taste. Why didn't you buy 2 cups 70% sugar? Jake Thompson recounted what happened in bubble tea shop. Seeing movie starting soon, so he didn't change. 50% sugar is fine. Sophie Sullivan pouted. HMPH. Little boyfriend clearly likes 70% sugar. She extended fair arm. Coaxing said, give me that 70% cup. Too much sugar will get fat. 50% is just right. Jake Thompson smirked. This kid lying getting better now. Not even blushing anymore. He gently pinched Sophie Sullivan's cheek. I know you like 70% sugar. Sophie Sullivan clenched small fist. Pretending fierce but looking incredibly cute. I also know you like drinking sweet. No need. How can I let little boyfriend suffer? Jake Thompson leaned close to her ear, gently whispering tenderly. Sullivan, look, my cup though only 50% sugar. But actually specially sweet. Doubly sweet. Sophie Sullivan didn't understand why. Corner of Jake Thompson's mouth slightly curved. Bubble tea only has 50% sugar. But combined with your sweet smile, enough to become 100% silly. Sophie Sullivan's face flushed red. Little boyfriend really knows how to talk. Is my smile really that sweet? She tilted head shyly, arms wrapping around Jake Thompson's neck. Hee. Then let me give you more sweetness to taste. Between lips and teeth mingling with warm breath. Passerby one heaven and earth. Brothers, this is benefits outside cinema. Passerby two goddess truly goddess. Kissing others still makes me flutter. Passerby three you two dream on. I'm not as handsome as that guy. I'm leaving first. In noisy bustling cinema. Filled with couples waiting for movie. Hand in hand shoulder to shoulder. Eyes all shining bright. Perhaps. This is exactly why young people like watching movies with loved ones? In movies just need love then become couple. Jake Thompson and Sophie Sullivan also shoulder to shoulder leaning together. Though family theme movie, but whole film interwoven with comedy segments. From very first scene, cinema already rang with loud laughter. Sophie Sullivan also couldn't help laughing. Gripping Jake Thompson's hand tightly. Excitedly waving gently. Softly saying hee. Little boyfriend, this opening quite interesting. Let's quickly watch carefully together. You can't do naughty things. Perhaps humans are strange creatures. Originally Jake Thompson wasn't planning anything. But Sophie Sullivan mentioning this. Heart thumping heavily. Feeling if don't do something. Then not worthy of this cinema trip. And right then. Boy beside already started misbehaving. Jake Thompson coughed lightly. People say already. Not taking advantage as being fool. He immediately wrapped arm around Sophie Sullivan's waist. Even squeezed gently. Does this count as naughty? Sophie Sullivan's face flushed red. Nodding continuously of course counts but I can accept. Then fine Jake Thompson couldn't help squeezing again. Sophie Sullivan's surprise attacked. Almost made sound. She angrily glanced at Jake Thompson. Pouting showing objection. But thanks to this, she saw a scene. Boy beside, actually placed hand on girlfriend's thigh. Oh what is this? She secretly glanced at Jake Thompson's face. Corner of mouth curved mischievously. Softly calling Jake Thompson, my little boyfriend. Seeing Jake Thompson turn over. Sophie Sullivan smiled silently. Kiss me once. I'll give you a surprise. Jake Thompson this old already. Never heard such unreasonable request. Yet Sophie Sullivan happy as eating candy. Shyly extending hand. Pointing at her long straight legs like from manga. Want to touch? Jake Thompson frozen completely. This kid actively letting me touch legs. This matter too absurd. Definitely a trap. Don't want? Sophie Sullivan eyes wide disbelieving. Hee I already said. Humans are strange creatures. Don't want to touch. Why other boyfriends all touching? HMPH my little boyfriend definitely must touch. No way. Sophie Sullivan urgently grabbed Jake Thompson's hand. Pressed on her thigh. Instantly both went numb trembling. Sophie Sullivan felt like electricity running through body. Both strange and sweet. While Jake Thompson only one word pleasure. Must say honestly. Sophie Sullivan's thighs truly exquisite, incredibly smooth. Watch movie little boyfriend you can't. Randomly move around. Sophie Sullivan raised finger warning. Pouting saying. However. Still couldn't help kissing Jake Thompson's cheek once. Hee corner of Jake Thompson's mouth slightly curved. Fingers slightly using force. Gently squeezed Sophie Sullivan's thigh. Heart couldn't help sighing. This feeling wonderful indeed. Indeed women made of water. Thighs so soft. Just squeezing a bit. Doesn't count as naughty, right? Sophie Sullivan naturally felt Jake Thompson squeeze once. But she said nothing. He let little boyfriend do whatever. Online even has girls helping boyfriends. Solve that matter completely. Me letting him touch thighs, what's wrong? Movie continued on. Sophie Sullivan gradually discovered joy of watching movies with everyone. How to say? Funny segments. Everyone laughing together. Sad scenes. Everyone's eyes welling with tears. Everyone originally strangers. Could be busy city workers. Could be spend what you earn types. Could be confused idle people. Or students secretly skipping class to taste love. Yet sitting here together. Crying for movie characters. Laughing for scripts joy. This feeling was what Sophie Sullivan never experienced watching alone in private room. Moreover Jake Thompson's warm hand. He seems have fallen in love with this feeling. Sophie Sullivan softly whispered, while Jake Thompson sighed, just full of black lines. Life isn't a movie. Real life always full of surprises. Jake Thompson really gave up. Why hurt right now? Really stomach ache? Maybe from drinking bubble tea. Anyway, now Jake Thompson's stomach like turbulent ocean waves. Can't do this, can't hold anymore. Wife, I can't take it. Stomach hurts too much. Going bathroom a bit, Jake Thompson simply explained to Sophie Sullivan. He immediately stood up, leaving screening room. Sophie Sullivan's heart flashed a bold thought. Kissing already made boy react. Then touching legs wouldn't be even more. Plus suddenly saying stomach hurts. She seriously suspected. Could Jake Thompson be uncomfortable again? Eyes flashing with waves. Sophie Sullivan's eyebrows slightly raised. Heart sweet like exploding honey jar. He seems. My legs. Really attracted little boyfriend? He even said didn't want to touch. Now uncomfortable like this. Should I go help him? She quickly shook head, denying that ridiculous thought. No. This isn't at home. How to help? Not right. Even at home can't help. She pouted, clenching small fist. Though can't help with anything. But at least can cheer spiritually. Little boyfriend fighting. You're the best. 10 minutes later. Jake Thompson returned to seat. Naturally placed hand on Sophie Sullivan's thigh. 1 hour later, movie ended. Big lights turned on. Audience gradually leaving. Wife, you cried, makeup smeared. Jake Thompson took tissue. Gently wiping tear stains from Sophie Sullivan's eye corners. Couldn't help sighing. This movie really touching indeed. Critics said, how much joy laughing. Then how much sorrow crying at end. Ding. Congratulations, host checking in cinema with lover. Enjoying movie together. Received reward 2,000 emotional value points. Host luck exploding. Chance to double. If post to social circle will double reward. Jake Thompson grinned, rolling eyes. This trick seems familiar. Isn't this learned from some penguin game? Watch ads to double rewards. This system really keeping up with trends. Jake Thompson stunned. Damn, you really following trends. Sharing to social circle just convenient anyway. Diana Lee already met Sophie Sullivan. Jake Thompson naturally nothing to hide. But to avoid silly colleagues gossiping, he only posted one photo. Scene of him and Sophie Sullivan arm in arm. If aunties see this, really embarrassing. Look at this cheesy caption. Delete it immediately. Sophie Sullivan glanced at Jake Thompson's phone. Mouth criticizing, but heart sweet. Outwardly resisting, but heart joyfully happy. Jake Thompson shrugged. He laughing. Old man still hoping to see. Come wife, I'll take you to dinner. New Century Plaza. Maggie supporting Diana. Moon crying like rain. Moon, stop crying. I told you not to watch this movie. You didn't listen. Good girl, don't cry anymore. Diana. Moon wiping tears. Not caring about image. Trying to suppress heart's sourness. Kiki, let's go shopping a bit. I want to dispel this mood. Maggie nodded. Smiling gently. Leader Corporation Deputy General Manager's office. Dylan Tang finished processing pile of documents. Leisurely crossing legs looking at phone. Result, he saw Diana Moon's social circle post. Caption. I also want mother's love. Image was movie's final moment. Dylan Tang sighed softly, heart filled with sympathy. This was what he felt most guilty about with Diana Moon. As major shareholder of Triple Palace Real Estate and Leader Corporation, Dylan Tang always maintained calm without arrogance. Actually had an important reason. He started from nothing. After countless failures finally succeeded. A car accident took his wife, leaving Dylan Tang, and then 3-year-old daughter Diana Moon. From then he was both father and mother. Spoiling daughter like Lil Princess. Loving this child. But ultimately still owed her. About to call daughter to comfort. Dylan Tang saw next post. Was Jake Thompson's. Caption. Don't cry. I'm right beside you. Photo still movie's final moment. Dylan Tang gasped cold air hard. Slapped thigh hard. Damn. Almost forgot. Moon went to watch movie with little brother Jake. Oh heavens, these two posts out. Isn't this basically public? Immediately sadness in heart vanished. Only left full of joy. Mind flashing bright thought, already became son-in-law. Then should buy some things for little brother Jake. Perhaps he still doesn't know. I'm Moon's father. Perfect time to give gifts, draw closer emotionally. When Moon brings him home things will fall into place. But then Dylan Tang felt troubled. He didn't know what young people liked. That's right, isn't Sullivan dating little brother Jake? Ask her and it'll be clear immediately. Look at my muddled head. Dylan Tang quickly grabbed his phone. Dialing Thomas Sullivan's number. Hello. Old Sullivan, what have you been busy with lately? From the other end came Thomas Sullivan's hearty voice. These days I've put aside all work. Want to have fun for a few days. Let me tell you. About Sullivan's boyfriend, I have a major discovery. Turns out I guessed everything wrong before. Right now Thomas Sullivan was laughing cunningly. He planned to tell Dylan Tang. Sullivan's lover wasn't some damn friend of Jake Thompson, but was Jake Thompson himself. They were all led around by Jake Thompson. Old Tang, that little brother you praised to the skies, has been conquered by my daughter. Isn't that infuriating? But now did Dylan Tang have time to listen to Thomas Sullivan ramble? He immediately cut off Thomas Sullivan. Old Sullivan. My matter is more important. Save yours for later. Little brother Jake and my daughter Moon are in love. And isn't Sullivan's boyfriend brothers with Jake Thompson? Quickly help me ask your son-in-law what Jake Thompson likes. Thomas Sullivan's eyes bulged. Damn. What did you just say? Right now Thomas Sullivan just wanted to drag Dylan Tang before him immediately. Then shout loudly that Jake Thompson is my son-in-law. But subconscious told him this matter wasn't that simple. So he answered vaguely, Old Tang, this matter isn't easy to handle. Sullivan's personality you already know. My words might not be useful. But since we're brothers, don't rush, I'll try to help ask. Dylan Tang took a deep breath. Couldn't help giving thumbs up. Old Sullivan. You truly are my good brother. Then I'll wait for your news. Oh, what were you going to say earlier? Thomas Sullivan's palms sweating. Forcing a laugh waving hand. Nothing. Just wanted to ask if you'd eaten. After hanging up, Thomas Sullivan leaned back in chair, sighing deeply. Someone who quit smoking years ago, yet had urge to light one up. He rubbed his temples, finally resisting the craving. Just sipped tea. Current situation seemed vague, but actually quite clear. Graph's limited edition necklace. Game account with JC symbol. Photo old Ja personally took. Though Thomas Sullivan always relied on speculation. But every detail was enough evidence. However, Dylan Tang had no need to deceive him. Really strange. After thinking a long time, in Thomas Sullivan's head flashed an idea. Anyway, find way to get little brother Jake to come home once. Won't everything be clear then? 8 p.m. Boston People's Square. Sophie Sullivan holding cotton candy stick. Face bright arm in arm with Jake Thompson. Little boyfriend. Tomorrow we must obediently go to work. Secretary Zhang just called saying. Many documents need my review. Jake Thompson nodded. I know. Right then. Woman passing by opened eyes wide looking. Little Jake. Jake Thompson seeing who came. Politely waved. What coincidence. Cousin. Why are you in Boston? That woman named Diana Chen was Jake Thompson's cousin. His mother, Diana Lee, was her aunt. Sophie Sullivan stunned. So this is Jake Thompson's cousin. In a flash, she quickly hid cotton candy behind her back. Looking obedient and cute, Diana Chen seeing this scene, couldn't help showing gentle smile. Then glanced at Jake Thompson reproachfully. Little Jake, you really have girlfriend and didn't tell family. So everyone could mentally prepare. Jake Thompson scratched head, quickly laughing to deflect. Isn't little sister still shy? So I hadn't said yet, but my parents. Looking at Diana Chen's wide eyes, so Auntie already knows. With Auntie's personality. And Jake Thompson not avoiding. Still letting Auntie know clearly. Proves feelings are sincere. She felt in small bag. Pulled out wad of cash. Little Jake, take this, really unexpected. Cousin didn't prepare anything. Only brought this much money, you just started working. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Jake Thompson quickly waved hands. If in past life, he would have thought, oh heavens. So much money, definitely half refuse half accept. But now he had enough ways to make money. Toward money didn't care much. Just enough to spend was fine. So he didn't plan to accept. Forget it, cousin. I'm already working. Keep money to buy makeup, handbags. Diana Chen being able to casually pull out few thousand. Jake Thompson didn't find strange. Because second uncle's family was already well off. Just not as rich as Jake Thompson now. After 3 refusals, Jake Thompson ultimately couldn't avoid. According to Diana Chen's words, not married, still a child. Forcefully stuffed money into Jake Thompson's hand. Chatted few sentences with Sophie Sullivan, then left. Sophie Sullivan smiled gently, poking Jake Thompson's waist. Cousin Diana Chen so nice. Even knows to care for my little boyfriend's money vault. I wanted to chat with her more. Jake Thompson face full of black lines. Eyelids twitching hard. Indeed quite nice. But you sure want to chat more with her? Sophie Sullivan nodding vigorously, of course. Such a thoughtful cousin. Jake Thompson coughed dryly twice. He felt need to educate Sophie Sullivan. Leaning close to her ear, wife. Do you know cousin has a nickname? Sophie Sullivan stunned. What nickname? Corner of Jake Thompson's mouth curved into faint smile. Said with light laugh, family broadcasting speaker. Basically whatever she knows. Within a month. My relatives all know most of it. Think about it, the more you talk with her, the more she knows. Then my relatives will also know more. Isn't that like meeting relatives early? Sophie Sullivan's face immediately flushed red. This. Pink lips pressed together. A bit pouty mixed with embarrassment. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Jake Thompson helplessly waved hands. She came too suddenly. Indeed so. Diana Chen was already standing right there. He had no time to remind Sophie Sullivan. Also couldn't signal with eyes. After all, she's his cousin. Could he cry when meeting her? Sophie Sullivan almost went crazy. So meaning within a month. My existence will be known by your whole family. Haven't met but already know name. Moreover, my naive silly cotton candy eating appearance earlier. And shy obedient look meeting cousin Diana Chen. Really embarrassed you too much. Too shameful. During New Year or holidays meeting relatives. Will definitely be questioned intensely. Jake Thompson pouted, gently squeezing Sophie Sullivan's cheek. Calmly said, what's embarrassing? Just now I was planning to lie saying you're a colleague. To avoid cousin's nagging. But thinking again, forget it. You clearly are my wife. The beautiful female CEO of Leader Corporation. Marrying me, would I dare not admit it? Then I'd be crazy. At that moment Jake Thompson leaned closer. Sophie Sullivan's soft hand gripped his tightly. Body leaning slightly forward. Gently kissed his lips. In this crowded square, Jake Thompson. Sophie Sullivan stammered softly. But still secretly enjoyed the sweet taste lingering on lips. Heart waves surging. Sweet to the core. 2 people 10 fingers interlocked. Light breeze blowing past. Night sky twinkling with few bright stars. Gentle moonlight spreading across earth. Sophie Sullivan gently using fingernail. Drawing circles in Jake Thompson's palm. Corner of Jake Thompson's mouth curving up. So many people. Still can't stop me kissing my wife. I kissed, knowing cousin will tell others. But still can't stop. Let her say. I hear. Have such a cute, gentle, beautiful wife. What can't be public? He slightly raised eyebrows. Eyes meeting. Wife, am I right? Sophie Sullivan laughed softly. Gently tiptoeing. Helping Jake Thompson fix messy hair. Corner of mouth curved mischievously. If that's so, then I must kiss once more. Swan Lake. Sophie Sullivan carefully opened home door. But didn't know. Father Thomas Sullivan had been waiting in living room long time. Sullivan, you're back? This long dress is beautiful. Thomas Sullivan smiled squinting. Approaching precious daughter. Looks like just came from meeting in-laws. He quickly added few compliments. After all, later still had to spar with Sullivan. Thomas Sullivan already thought in advance. Tonight, no matter what price. Must make Sullivan bring Jake Thompson home tomorrow. Sophie Sullivan laughed softly. Pouting said, Dad, why are you so smooth talking today? She keenly smelled something strange. A cunning smell, and facing her father. Sophie Sullivan nervously asked, "Is it because of those 2 bottles of liquor?" Though Jake Thompson and Uncle Thompson said nothing. But those 2 bottles' value. Estimated must reach 7 figures. Taking them to give Jack Thompson. Sophie Sullivan naturally didn't regret. But heart still felt a bit guilty. Dad, I'll be honest. Those 2 bottles I gave to a friend's father. Dad, you won't be angry at your precious daughter, right? Sophie Sullivan stuck out tongue, muttering. Better confess myself than be interrogated by Dad. They say daughters are Dad's little cotton jacket. I've actively admitted wrong. Dad won't have heart to be angry. I've obediently admitted mistake already. Dad surely won't say much, right? Just 2 bottles of liquor. What's the big deal? But next time you give gifts, don't be so stingy. 2 bottles too few. Next time take more bottles. Thomas Sullivan waved hand, laughing heartily said, then turned pointing upstairs study. Signaling had something to discuss. Sophie Sullivan stunned. Old matter already passed. She didn't understand what Dad wanted to say. But still obediently followed to study, sat opposite desk. Thomas Sullivan rambled half the day. All just family trivia, making Sophie Sullivan confused. Could Dad call me up just to chat? That's not Dad's style, Dad. Whatever you want, just ask directly. I won't hide from you. Sophie Sullivan with Dad always spoke straight and true. What she wanted to say would spill out. What she didn't want to say, Dad had no chance to ask. Though usually silly beside Jake Thompson. But once leaving him, IQ immediately online. Usually she could almost see through Dad's thoughts. Feeling something abnormal would directly avoid. Basically not giving Dad chance to ask. Thomas Sullivan laughed awkwardly. Heart secretly crying, Sullivan. You really think Dad doesn't want to say? This is because of you. Dad really doesn't know how to start. This topic too sensitive. Dad afraid you'll leave immediately. Silent another minute or so. Thomas Sullivan slowly spoke. Sullivan, do you know Milky Way Plaza has graph chain store? That necklace on your neck. Actually originally I liked it first. Sophie Sullivan eyes wide. Dad liked it first? Planning to give me or Mom? No. Those things not important. Important is why it ended up with Jake Thompson. Then what? Thomas Sullivan paused slightly. Daughter's gaze made his scalp tingle. But already said this much. He wasn't Jake Thompson. Wouldn't plot and scheme, so spoke directly. Result was that necklace was reserved by a young man. Dad talked with him. Offered 100,000 above selling price to buy back. But was refused. His reason for refusing was to give girlfriend. Then evening you wore it home. You understand Dad's meaning? Sophie Sullivan extremely shocked. Heart like struck by lightning. So Dad suspected I had boyfriend long ago. Thinking carefully. No wonder Dad hasn't been pushing lately. So that's why. If before, Sophie Sullivan definitely would strongly object. Make up reasons to deflect. But now she didn't want to explain. Didn't want to lie. In her head echoed Jake Thompson's words. Damn it, my girlfriend isn't someone I can't show off. Moreover, he already met Jake Thompson's parents. Time to be honest with Dad. Facing Thomas Sullivan's gaze. Gritting teeth nodding. Yes. This is gift from boyfriend. Thomas Sullivan's heart shook violently. In that moment felt whole world turned upside down. Whole person floating like flying. Actually in his heart already prepared. This would be fierce battle with precious daughter. He didn't think Sophie Sullivan would honestly admit. But reality slapped him in face. Did it hurt? Hurt. But now Thomas Sullivan just wanted to scream inside. Great. Sullivan, introduce him. Seeing Dad's expression not bad. Sophie Sullivan smiled gently. Then could introduce Jake Thompson. Otherwise really hard to speak. He's my company employee. Thomas Sullivan nodded. Signaling daughter continue. At this point, he was certain it was Jake Thompson. But could extract more. Who wouldn't want? Family situation quite good. But not considered extremely wealthy, right? Speaking seemed casual. This was what Sophie Sullivan worried most about. Her parents weren't old-fashioned. But she feared. What if Dad wanted to find powerful son-in-law? Afraid he liked rich family young master type. But she only liked Jake Thompson. Indeed. Those words entering Thomas Sullivan's ears immediately changed. He glared. Whole person stunned. Extremely wealthy. He was dumbfounded. Sullivan saying Jake Thompson not extremely wealthy. Holding 100 properties in hand. Casually spending $3 million renting necklace. Buying immediately when wanting. Yet called not extremely wealthy? What does Dad mean? In Sophie Sullivan's eyes, Thomas Sullivan forehead full of black lines. Seemed unable to understand her words. That's right, she misunderstood. She thought Dad was blaming her for finding boyfriend not extremely wealthy. In that moment, Sophie Sullivan's expression became extremely cold. She originally thought Dad would understand, would agree. She gathered all courage Jake Thompson helped her collect to confess to Thomas Sullivan. What was final result? Was doubt. That moment Sophie Sullivan felt Dad truly unreasonable. I'm tired, going to sleep first. Dad should rest early too. Finished speaking turned leaving study. Sophie Sullivan returned to her room. Thomas Sullivan head full of black lines. Heavens. What nonsense did I just say? Why did Sullivan change expression like this? Impossible. Could Sullivan have misunderstood my meaning? Thinking back to my shocked expression earlier. Really possible. He angrily slapped thigh, quickly knocked on Sophie Sullivan's door. Sullivan. Dad doesn't object. Open door, let Dad explain. But Thomas Sullivan received no response from daughter. Even just one cold sentence. Greeting him was sound of heavy door locking. That moment, Thomas Sullivan felt like holding 4 twos and 2 jokers. Result completely ruined the hand. Tuesday. Sky falling, light drizzling rain. Roads muddy. Steam rising, floating in air. Mothers taking children to school. Wearing raincoats, riding electric bikes gliding through rain. Late summer rain. Bringing early autumn chill. Brother, thank you for giving me ride to school. Should pay you $1 bus fare. Cute little girl wearing elementary uniform. Politely said to Jake Thompson. Then placed $1 bill on passenger seat. Then turned running into school. Jake Thompson waved hand. Started car, driving straight to company. Today he left bit earlier than usual. Because in Boston there's unwritten rule. When it rains, regardless size, definitely traffic jam. But his luck still quite good. Smooth journey all way. On way conveniently gave ride to little girl without umbrella at bus stop. Drove to elementary school. Experimental elementary school number 4 very close to Leader Corporation. After checking in at company, Jake Thompson went looking for Sophie Sullivan in office. Circled around. Hugged and kissed her thoroughly. He slightly frowned. Felt today Lil Sullivan somewhat strange. Wife, something on your mind? He smiled, approaching Sophie Sullivan. Today Sophie Sullivan wearing business attire. Again transformed into cold proud female CEO. But facing Jake Thompson's question. She immediately became sweet girl. Nothing at all. If I had worries, how could I hide from you? My little boyfriend, don't overthink. Just work documents bit much. Jake Thompson thought back. Yesterday he was lazy all day. He gently tapped Sophie Sullivan's nose. Waving hand. Okay. I'm going back to work. Remember, message me anytime if miss me. Having said, Jake Thompson turned leaving. Looking at that straight, handsome back. Sophie Sullivan couldn't help thinking a lot. About Thomas Sullivan's attitude. She thought all last night. More thinking, more angry. Even this morning eating at home. Wouldn't sit same table with Dad. Must know how Jake Thompson's parents treated him. Always gently protecting. Caring thoughtfully, letting him feel full family love. She clearly felt they sincerely liked her. Not caring about her status at all. What about her dad? Basically wouldn't listen. She was planning to properly introduce Jake Thompson. Just because of family circumstances. Dad glared, objecting. Sophie Sullivan felt Dad truly incomprehensible. Meanwhile, old Sullivan already crying in bathroom. Banging table with, bang. Sophie Sullivan coldly said, anyway. I'll never yield to dark forces. No matter what. That loud, pop, sound. Just happened to be heard by Secretary Jong at door. About to knock reporting work. His expression immediately changed. Why is CEO Sullivan so angry? This morning clearly only Jake Thompson came here. He quickly composed message sending to Lil Wolf. RD department other side, Jake Thompson just sat at workstation. But not even warm on chair. Little Wolf already rushed over. Anxiously asking repeatedly, "Brother Jake, you okay?" Jake Thompson glanced at him. Face full of question marks. "You have problem?" Early morning. Just 3 days no see. And asking this question. Little Wolf frantically gesturing. Quickly showing message Secretary Jong sent. Placed before Jake Thompson. "Brother Jake, look at this message. Right after you left. CEO Sullivan threw thunderous tantrum. Maybe you should comfort her a bit." Little Sullivan angry. Jake Thompson stunned. Indeed all morning. He felt Lady Boss CEO bit unusual. Could it really be work? He pretended nothing wrong, waving hand. "Probably not related to me. Don't worry, go work. I'm waiting for you online," chasing Little Wolf away. Jake Thompson opened computer, preparing to watch movie. Again sent Sophie Sullivan another message. Jake Thompson thought women angry weren't pretty anymore. But immediate response always Sophie Sullivan's attitude toward him. Total 3 messages. 2 document photos. 1 line from Sophie Sullivan. "Look what unreasonable demands partners made. How can I not be angry?" HMPH. Jake Thompson laughed relieved. Indeed work matter. He sent back 2 hugging gifs. Until 10 o'clock. TV series still bland. Little Wolf still hadn't finished today's work. Jake Thompson planned to log in himself first play 2 rounds. Just opened game. Phone call came. Another unknown number. "Hello. Who's this?" Next second. Familiar voice from other end rang out. "Oh my. Brother Jake. It's me, Thomas Sullivan." Heavens, turns out old Sullivan. Toward this hearty generous brother. Jake Thompson had extremely good impression. Receiving his call early morning. He felt both surprised and honored. "Nothing, just free time. Wanted to call you chat a bit." Heavens, yesterday just met. Today chatting again. Jake Thompson's eyebrows twitched hard twice. Seemed Thomas Sullivan also realized. His words somewhat strange, so immediately changed topic. Going straight to point. "Brother. Yesterday we said when there's chance drink together. I've prepared 2 bottles premium 5 grains liquid. Tonight come my house for few drinks. I'll have sister-in-law cook few dishes." Jake Thompson felt quite interesting. Going to Thomas Sullivan's house. He thought at most going hotel to drink. Seems he really considers me family. But tonight not very convenient. I still need to be with sweet girlfriend. I understand. Taking her home already late. Other end Thomas Sullivan almost laughed out loud. Oh heavens, what's inconvenient? What sweet? Just bring Sullivan home together. No problem. Us brothers must drink till drunk. One satisfying drunk feast. Jake Thompson thought. Thomas Sullivan already said this much. If refuse would be excessive. Fine, troubling old Sullivan tonight. We'll meet tonight. After hanging up, Jake Thompson sighed deeply. Then immediately entered gaming mode. Lunch break, seeing Jake Thompson holding umbrella preparing to go downstairs. Little Wolf pulled him back. "Brother Jake. Eat at company cafeteria. Outside jammed like broken toilet." Jake Thompson shook head, glaring at him. "You want me eating company's cold food? Then dying from stomach problems?" Indeed, cafeteria food originally cold. Because each department's lunch break different. Some departments start break from 11. Cafeteria naturally prepares food early. By time RD department breaks already cold. But this doesn't affect most people much. Cold food also fine. However, Jake Thompson's stomach like princess. Can't handle bit of cold. That's also why he often has to go home for meals. Little Wolf knew this clearly. Yet today insisting pulling him to cafeteria. "Brother Jake, listen to me. Yesterday Sister Winnie went to cafeteria conveying CEO Sullivan's intention. She directly complained to partner restaurant about cold food. Now cafeteria food. Guaranteed always hot." Jake Thompson stunned. Little Sullivan yesterday didn't work still noticed this. Suddenly he remembered. Yesterday Diana Lee told Sophie Sullivan lots about his habits. Including liking sweet food. and having quite severe stomach problems. Could she, after hearing, immediately called partner hotel? Actually, this matter doesn't affect most employees. Some even like cold food. Eat quickly then work conveniently. This also why Leader Corporation never managed before. Moreover, looks like just Sophie Sullivan suggesting. But actually must pay more money. Lunch break lasting 4 hours. Guaranteeing food always hot definitely costs a lot. Actually all these things, Sophie Sullivan did. Just so Jake Thompson, when forced to eat at cafeteria, won't get stomach ache. Jake Thompson naturally understood meaning. Heart both angry and pained. This silly girl. Besides warm feeling, he also felt heartache, not just light twinge, but pain to the heart. Heavens, how much money did silly wife spend? I'm not stupid. If not going home, can order takeout. 1 meal 4 dishes 1 soup, originally Leader Corporation employee standard. Worth mentioning is, this hot meal really brought bit of warmth to gloomy rainy sky outside. After eating, Jake Thompson and Little Wolf returned to office. Jake Thompson, because of Sophie Sullivan's heartwarming action, noon check-in reward issued directly. Jake Thompson thought silly Sullivan busy with work, so didn't go upstairs to bother. He urged Little Wolf quickly get online, play 2 rounds. While sending Sophie Sullivan message, Jake Thompson, thank you wife for preparing heartwarming lunch. Jake Thompson, heart gif, top floor CEO office. Sophie Sullivan's beautiful cold face gradually became gentle and cute. Hee hee. Little boyfriend ate lunch at company? You already guessed why. I did this right? HMPH, definitely so. Otherwise why suddenly send me this message? Fingers gently touching screen. Sophie Sullivan pouting, about to message Jake Thompson back. When call came, she glanced at phone number. Eyebrows frowning tightly. She hated most being disturbed while working, especially when having something to say with Jake Thompson. Being interrupted. End caller. Was exactly father who just made her unhappy. Sophie Sullivan rolled eyes. Hung up. Phone rang again. Continue hanging up. Then rang again. Hung up again. 4th time. Finally couldn't hold back anymore. Answered. Extremely cold voice rang out. Dad. What exactly do you want? If Thomas Sullivan didn't hear wrong, he'd definitely think he fell into ice cave. Couldn't help shivering. He forced laugh. Sullivan. Tonight Dad bringing a young man home for dinner. Remember dress beautifully. Though my daughter without makeup already beautiful. But must obediently come home early. Hear me? Glass cup in hand. Thrown straight to ground by Sophie Sullivan. What exactly does Thomas Sullivan mean? Yesterday just denied Jake Thompson's family background. Today wants to bring friend home for dinner. Still telling her to dress beautifully. Sophie Sullivan immediately understood. Knew right away. He planned to bring some young master over. Then arrange them together. Dad just wants to marry her to powerful wealthy man. That moment, Sophie Sullivan felt Dad became stranger. She said decisively, today I won't go home. I'll sleep at company. Face flushed red. Could even sleep at Jake Thompson's house. Dad, don't you understand me? Once I've chosen to be with him. That's my decision. Dad still wanting to introduce boyfriend for me. I really feel disgusted. Thomas Sullivan gasped, cold air hard. Face showing forced smile. Sullivan, do you know what's called true fragrance law? Right now he didn't want to explain more. He understood his daughter too well. In this state, talking more easier to go wrong. Opening mouth becomes random talk. Sullivan, listen to Dad. Tonight obediently come home. You'll definitely be satisfied with that person. If not, later Dad won't interfere with your marriage matters anymore, okay? Sophie Sullivan's eyes lit up. Dad, you sure? From other end came Thomas Sullivan's firm voice. Of course, certain. Those words extremely attractive to Sophie Sullivan now. She'd misunderstood her father. Misunderstood he was blocking her and Jake Thompson. She must stay with Jake Thompson. So immediately hung up. Heart secretly clenching small fist, nodding hard. RD department, Jake Thompson just finished 1 game round. Smooth sailing victory. He prepared for next round. Then saw Sophie Sullivan's message arrive. Little Sullivan. Jake Thompson, Tonight I have something. Might have to leave early. Is that okay? Jake Thompson smiled. What coincidence. Just happens tonight Thomas Sullivan invited him for drinks. And wife has business. This way won't keep him waiting long. Every family has difficulties. Sullivan family having matters is normal. He's not unreasonable person. Jake Thompson. Okay, then 5:30 I'll pick you up. Sophie Sullivan. Yes. Confirming tonight's plan. Jake Thompson felt much more comfortable. Quickly continued battling with Little Wolf. Swan Lake, Thomas Sullivan lying on home sofa. Mood extremely refreshed. Crossing legs. Occasionally tapping to rhythm laughing. Beside, Mary Lee angrily glared at him. Face full of disgust. Daughter already misunderstood to that extent. What kind of father are you? Still not worried. Still thick-skinned sitting here laughing. Actually Mary Lee knew clearly what Thomas Sullivan was doing. So though scolding outwardly, but heart secretly supporting. Thomas Sullivan waved hand, laughing patting wife's shoulder. Wife. Don't worry about this anymore. Your mission today is cook delicious meal. Prepare liquor and food fully. So brother Jake and I can drink heartily. Oh no. Tonight should call dragon son-in-law. Mary Lee rolled eyes around. But corner of mouth showed smile. Old Sullivan. Honestly I'm somewhat looking forward to tonight. Rain falling all day. Though just light rain but continuous without stopping. Jake Thompson noticed almost 5:30. He turned heading toward top floor office. Whole day no see. He really missed little wife a bit. Come. Hug once. Jake Thompson spread arms wide. Sophie Sullivan immediately dove into his embrace. Just like Jake Thompson. She also missed him terribly. Hee. Jake Thompson completed daily check-in mission. Feeling strangely pleased. Doing missions with rewards. Hugging beautiful wife even more pleased. And doing mission hugging beautiful wife. Then getting rewards, what could be better? Sophie Sullivan nestled in Jake Thompson's arms. Not daring to look straight at his eyes. Until hugging really long. Still sneaking few kisses on Jake Thompson's face. She stammered opening mouth. Little boyfriend. Tonight I can't be with you. You definitely don't be angry. Tomorrow I'll make it up to you well. Jake Thompson forehead full of black lines. Is this worth being angry about? Every family has urgent matters sometimes. He calmly replied. What's there to be angry about? Your family matters can't be predicted. I'm not unreasonable person. Sophie Sullivan's eyes brightened. She made ugly face. Probing further. Really not angry? Jake Thompson slightly frowned. This girl today really strange. All day been abnormal. Indeed the saying, 3 days without discipline, isn't wrong. Already climbing on the roof causing trouble again. Could it be because I haven't scared her these past few days? That's why she's like this. He coughed lightly. Pretending to be angry. Just pretending. Of course I'm angry. All day today. I've been looking forward to being sweet with my wife tonight. But you suddenly say family matters. How can I not be angry? To the point I don't even want to like you anymore. Actually Jake Thompson swears to heaven. He was just planning to tease her. But the scene before him made him panic. Sophie Sullivan actually started crying. 2 streams of tears flowing down her beautiful face. In an instant, she became a little woman full of tears. Jake Thompson immediately froze. Heavens, impossible. My fairy wife couldn't be like this. He quickly pulled out tissues from his pocket, helping Sophie Sullivan wipe tears from her eye corners. Wife, why are you crying like this? I was just joking. Your makeup is all smeared. Sophie Sullivan took the chance to wrap her fair arms around him. Her whole soft body pressing against Jake Thompson. In her heart thinking, smeared makeup is better. Saves being caught by dad and forced to meet various young masters. Jake Thompson, please don't be angry, okay? Just tonight. From now on every night I'll obediently be with you, okay? Right now Sophie Sullivan's heart truly felt guilty toward Jake Thompson. What had he given her? Daring to openly introduce her to his family. Gentleness, thoughtfulness, safe love. Those times being there on time. So many carefully prepared surprises, and what about her? Can't even convince her father. Jake Thompson gently coaxed. Good wife. I was just joking earlier. Actually, tonight I already have plans to drink with a brother. Really, you just peacefully handle family matters. Jake Thompson's forehead full of black lines. He realized, this girl really was crying. Moreover, crying from heartache. He quickly opened his mouth to comfort. Heavens. Really shouldn't tease her like that. The office atmosphere humid. Perhaps forgot to water. The potted plants by window all slightly wilted. Sophie Sullivan suppressing grievance, tiptoeing. Giving Jake Thompson a long, romantic kiss. Then deliberately leaning close to his ear. Voice choked. Little boyfriend. I'll always like you. Hee. I believe you won't be angry. Thank you. Jake Thompson eyes wide. Not bothering to respond. Instead pulling another tissue touching her face. Sophie Sullivan stunned. My face clearly has no more tears. Why are you wiping? Next second, Jake Thompson gently wiped her nose tip. Next time crying nonsense again. I'll really be angry. Jake Thompson threw tissue away looking bored. Peeved. Sophie Sullivan burst laughing. Gently nodding like pecking chick. Hee, I know. Two people said goodbye in underground parking. When Sophie Sullivan sat in Maserati, her eyes immediately returned cold. Tonight must resist. Absolutely won't bow to Dad's power. She took deep breath. Meeting his friend, so what? Planning to introduce boyfriend to me, so what? Thomas Sullivan, Dad really looks down on daughter. The Maserati slowly rolled away. While Jake Thompson drove opposite direction. He needed to stop by Milky Way Plaza first. Thought just flashed in mind. After all, going to Mr. Sullivan's house can't go empty-handed. Though Mr. Sullivan lacks nothing. But courtesy still necessary. Being guest, gifts must be prepared. This way won't be impolite. Even if just formality, must do properly. This is proper attitude. Though bit strange at Milky Way Plaza. Buying gifts for Thomas Sullivan. But Jake Thompson still got 2 bottles premium flying Modi. Bought another women's scarf. From Gucci. Each item over $10,000. Then conveniently bought few more small gifts. Jake Thompson, carrying various bags, returned to car. Called Thomas Sullivan. Brother, you must be arriving soon, right? Jake Thompson laughed softly. Old Sullivan guessed accurately. After all, they arranged to meet quite late. Thomas Sullivan said, my daughter already home. How could I guess wrong? Old Sullivan, send me address via Instagram. I'll come immediately. Thomas Sullivan laughed heartily. Haha, finally here, Swan Lake. When reaching villa area, just find number 4. Hurry up, our family of 3 waiting for you. Jake Thompson paused. Indeed, rich people all live at Swan Lake. Heavens, Sullivan actually lives same area as Old Sullivan. In same villa district. Jake Thompson didn't think much. Started car driving straight to Swan Lake. This route doesn't even need GPS. Too familiar already. At Swan Lake, Sophie Sullivan hearing Dad's phone call. Getting angrier thinking about it. Too much really. If possible. She wished the person coming was Jake Thompson. But she knew that's impossible. HMPH, Dad only looks at family status. Phew, right hand gripping eyebrow pencil. Almost breaking it. She frowned tightly. Feeling can't hesitate anymore. If I'm not mistaken, he'll definitely praise in front of that young master. My daughter beautiful as fairy, right? Today I'll open his eyes wide. If don't scare him to death, then forget it. This was Sophie Sullivan's planned strategy. She indeed agreed to Thomas Sullivan's words. Would meet person he called friend. But she never said in what appearance. Hair bit messy, doesn't matter. Eyebrows darker, not excessive. Deadly pink Barbie lipstick bright enough? Add 2 fake moles. Then single eyelid makeup, done. In room, Sophie Sullivan frantically adjusting makeup. Right now, Jake Thompson arrived at Swan Lake's main gate. Thanks to Thomas Sullivan. Already notifying security. So Jake Thompson entered villa area smoothly. Quickly found villa number 4. Just about to get out. Cold system voice suddenly rang in head. Ding. Congratulations, host activated side mission. Jake Thompson cursed silently. Damn system, you glitched? I'm just going to Old Sullivan's for drinks. And this activates side mission? Couple bonding. What's this got to do with my wife? System laughed hee hee. I know. But this side mission linked with Thomas Sullivan. Reward is 10,000 bonding points. Oh mama. Jake Thompson almost stepped hard on gas. 10,000 bonding points. Heavens. Why didn't you say earlier old Sullivan worth so much? If I knew, would have dragged him drinking long ago. Right now Jake Thompson, overwhelmed by joy of 10,000 bonding points, didn't bother thinking if system glitched or upgraded, causing side mission appearing with Thomas Sullivan. He immediately opened system store. Used remaining 5,000 points exchanging skill. 1,000 cups without getting drunk. Now most important mission is, must get old Sullivan drunk. Then collect full 10,000 bonding points. Getting out, carrying prepared gifts. Jake Thompson knocked on door. Car locking sound immediately attracted Sophie Sullivan's attention. Unfortunately, from her room couldn't see Villa Gate. But that sound she was too familiar with. That was the locking sound of Tesla Model 3 Jake Thompson always used. Didn't expect this person also has aesthetic sense. At least didn't randomly choose luxury supercar. Has some taste. While thinking, Sophie Sullivan froze. This eyebrow needs to be darker. Not scary enough. Add another layer of powder. Then add another layer of lipstick. Just a moment more. I'll scare you running barefoot. Sophie Sullivan looking at her reflection in mirror. Exactly right. Really scary indeed. But looking more pleasing. As long as can scare that guy away. Then dad won't interfere with her and Jake Thompson anymore. Then she can be with little boyfriend every day. Hee hee. Downstairs. Thomas Sullivan and Mary Lee hearing knock looked at each other amazed. Two people quickly ran to open door. Striking eyes was Jake Thompson's handsome face. Simple, neat outfit. But slightly wet from rain. Hair bit messy. Instead adding more worldly charm. Hello old Sullivan. Hello sister-in-law. Sorry to trouble you. Jake Thompson smiled greeting. Thought in his head very clear. He and Thomas Sullivan always called each other brothers. So the woman before him, as old Sullivan's wife, calling sister-in-law not wrong at all. But Mary Lee knew whole situation clearly. Just like Thomas Sullivan, she stood at atmospheric level observing. This, sister-in-law, call sounded awkward anyway. But that had nothing to do with Jake Thompson. She fiercely glared at Thomas Sullivan. To see how he plans to explain later. Little Jake, come in quickly, got wet in rain right? Let auntie make you cup of hot tea. Make yourself at home, don't be polite. Yes, I won't be polite auntie. Jake Thompson scratched head. Seems generation wrong? Could this be old Sullivan's mother? He quickly shook head. Jake Thompson immediately dismissed that thought. Old Sullivan, sister-in-law really joking. Thomas Sullivan laughed awkwardly. For a moment didn't know how to explain. Whatever, when car reaches mountain there's a road. When boat reaches bridge naturally straightens. Just let fate decide. This woman 3 days without beating. Recently bit difficult. Don't need to pay attention to her. But brother, you coming to my house for drinks bringing gifts. Isn't that slapping my face? Thomas Sullivan while speaking, led Jake Thompson to sit on sofa. Coffee table full of various snacks. Fruits, hot tea. Also various beverages and yogurt. How to say? Exactly royal treatment standard. I don't know what you and sister-in-law like. So just bought few things randomly, as long as brother doesn't mind. Thomas Sullivan didn't refuse either. Those trivial matters not important. He knew his daughter misunderstanding. Her heart still angry. But Thomas Sullivan equally uncomfortable. After all, he just wants to hold grandchildren. What's wrong with that? Already over 50. Money in pocket. Successful career. Want child to cuddle so what? Actually, today he had countless chances to explain to Sophie Sullivan. But he held back. After all he's her father. He wanted through this matter. Let the young couple learn lesson. Quickly produce grandchildren for old Sullivan. Of course I don't mind. Such trivial matters. Let's talk business. Brother, actually I have a daughter. Now marriageable age already. You see. Thomas Sullivan deliberately paused, secretly glancing at Jake Thompson. Corner of mouth lifting cunningly. Damn, this atmosphere bit wrong. Old Sullivan. Could you be planning to introduce girlfriend to me? He quickly changed topic. I have several excellent brothers. How about I introduce them to you? Thomas Sullivan shook head, continuing to probe. Mischievous smile on face never disappearing. Can they be better than you? How about brother you meet my daughter first then talk? She's very beautiful. Saying Boston's #1 beauty not exaggerating. Jake Thompson saw this topic unavoidable. Had to firmly refuse. I have girlfriend already. Brother don't mention this anymore. Your daughter deserves someone better. I just want to live peaceful days with girlfriend. Moreover, Jake Thompson already used to feeling of having Sophie Sullivan beside him. Even stepping back 10,000 steps, returning to confession day, he still wouldn't agree to Thomas Sullivan. Furthermore, even if he agreed, system wouldn't allow. It doesn't support changing love ranking. Facing Jake Thompson's determination with lover. If he wasn't firm, what would he be? System laughed hee. Host wants to agree, then just agree. Jake Thompson raised eyebrows angrily. Damn. When you bound me didn't say that. Really nonsense system. But speaking fairly, he felt Thomas Sullivan exaggerating. Boston's #1 beauty? Clearly that person should be his wife, Sophie Sullivan. What's it got to do with Thomas Sullivan's daughter? Hey old Sullivan, how about you go call Sullivan? Why hasn't she come down yet? Little Jake getting anxious. Mary Lee cooking. Taking chance reminded Thomas Sullivan softly. He immediately glared at wife. This woman, really ruining things. She's doing makeup upstairs. Don't rush, you go call yourself. Brief conversation passed. Thomas Sullivan's face still maintaining cunning smile, making Jake Thompson's heart slightly shake. Old Sullivan said, his daughter is Boston's #1 beauty. While in his eyes, his wife is #1 beauty. His wife lives at Swan Lake. And old Sullivan also lives at Swan Lake. Sullivan, old Sullivan's daughter. Name definitely has Sullivan. And his wife named Sophie Sullivan. Oh mama. Jake Thompson's heart like tsunami surging. If still doesn't realize now, then he's truly stupid. Finally he understood why system kept giggling. Hee. And why Thomas Sullivan always showing cunning smile. Turns out Mary Lee definitely knew everything early. So she called herself Auntie. Damn it. Should have figured out long ago. Sophie Sullivan's generous father. And old Sullivan insisting on raising rent. Really have many similarities. Uncle Sullivan really caught me off guard. Corner of Jake Thompson's mouth lifting into smile. Sighing deeply. Everything clear now. Then just face it straightforwardly. He naturally changed address. Hey, father-in-law. Understanding now not too late. Then father go call Sullivan down. Thomas Sullivan laughed heartily. Today being cold-shouldered by daughter all day. Finally his turn to vent anger. Jake Thompson immediately refused. She's doing makeup. She doesn't like being interrupted while working. Just let her come down herself. Mainly Jake Thompson originally wasn't nervous. Coming here just to drink with Thomas Sullivan. But now suddenly brother became father-in-law. Somewhat nervous. Though daughter Sullivan's room very tempting. But Jake Thompson still chose not to wander. Fine then, father-in-law says so then so be it. Thomas Sullivan face beaming proudly. Sitting cross-legged, looking full of arrogance. Little did they know right now. Sophie Sullivan already completed great work. Thick eyebrows, bright pink lips. Face thick with white powder. Added fake moles and freckles. Deliberately wearing Mary Lee's old clothes. Type that looks aged. Messy hair, preparing to go downstairs. Oh, girl coming down. Hearing footsteps going down, Thomas Sullivan laughing smugly. Mary Lee just finished preparing dinner. She quickly put down kitchen utensils. Quickly running to living room. Sitting next to Thomas Sullivan. To watch good show. Jake Thompson smiled slightly. Said nothing, just looked toward stairs. So under 3 people 6 eyes watching. Sophie Sullivan with bizarre appearance self-made makeup. Appeared before them. Damn. Thomas Sullivan trembled. Almost fell off sofa. Is this my precious daughter? Clearly an old witch more accurate. Girl only doing nonsense things. What kind of dressing is this? How to say? Thomas Sullivan normally smart, now confused. Fortunately Mary Lee beside reminding. She lowered voice, whispering in his ear. Old Sullivan, you stupid? Don't you think girl makeup like this? For little Jake to see more interesting? Thomas Sullivan's eyes brightened, excitedly looking at wife. Right, my wife this time really smart. After all meeting as young couples matter. My clever daughter harming herself. Like throwing stone at own foot. Jake Thompson forehead full of black lines. Heart secretly screaming. Damn. If not for that necklace. I almost didn't recognize my wife. Sullivan, you cosplaying? How to say? Atmosphere really extremely awkward. Sophie Sullivan's eyes wide open. Whole person frozen in place. Sitting on sofa were 3 people. Her parents. And Jake Thompson. What's going on? Why Jake Thompson? Where's Dad's brother friend? Suddenly Sophie Sullivan's back cold. Her face showing bewilderment. Could Dad's brother friend be Jake Thompson? Scrutinizing eyes sweeping over. Seeing Mary Lee slightly nodding. Oh heavens. Sophie Sullivan turned running upstairs. You two talk. I'm not ready yet. Like frightened little deer running away. She rushed straight into bedroom. Ran into bathroom starting to remove makeup. More thinking more embarrassed. Nails pressing hard into palms. Tears about to overflow. Suddenly feeling someone behind. She turned around. It was Jake Thompson grinning. Didn't expect my wife has this appearance too. Makeup quite skillful. But from now on can't do makeup like this. Sophie Sullivan pouted. Frowning. Wiping off last layer of powder. Resentfully glancing at Jake Thompson. So your dad's brother friend. So hateful, he dared trick us. Sophie Sullivan understood everything now. No wonder this afternoon calling. Dad so firmly assured. If not satisfied, then from now won't interfere with her matters. Turns out he knew everything. And looking at Jake Thompson's expression, he seemed to just find out too. Really cunning dad. Sigh, perhaps from beginning dad didn't expect either. After all in this world some things unpredictable. Jake Thompson could only sigh. Shrugging explaining. Honestly, fate is world's most mysterious thing. Can't force it. Meeting difficult. Losing regrettable. Sophie Sullivan mischievously glancing at him. Raising small pretty fist threatening. Old Thompson. You should call Uncle Sullivan or Mr. Sullivan right. Jake Thompson also realized he called wrong. Bit embarrassed, but thinking. Little Sullivan girl calls me, uncle, too. Honestly, a guy just over 20. Being called, uncle, really uncomfortable. But if girlfriend calling, not only feels good, but brings bit of romantic flavor. Corner of his mouth slightly lifting. Looking troubled said, can't do. I'm used to calling like that. How about this, try calling, Uncle Thompson. Sophie Sullivan smiled brightly. Waving hand signaling Jake Thompson come closer. Leaning to his ear. Softly saying 3 words. Dream on. Then turned running from bathroom. Jake Thompson quickly followed. Eyes brightening. Just now. He hadn't observed Sophie Sullivan's room carefully. Had rushed straight to bathroom to rescue her. Now looking carefully. He couldn't help pouting. Different from imagination. He originally thought. This girl's room would be neat and simple. Like her office. Clearly showing cold female CEO style. Who knew whole room all pink. Walls with cute paintings. Exquisite study desk, neatly arranged books and documents. Also some old photos. Big bed enough for 3-4 people rolling. On it full of stuffed animals and dolls. Overall, extremely cute. Wife, didn't expect you so sweet like this. Sophie Sullivan's heart bit proud. Pointing outside door winking mischievously. Is my room cute? Wait outside 2 minutes. I'll give you small surprise. Jake Thompson gave thumbs up praising. Didn't think much. Seeing Jake Thompson close door. Sophie Sullivan breathed relief. Started changing clothes. Actually she deliberately chased him out not afraid of being seen. Just felt doing this at home bit strange. She quickly took off Mary Lee's old clothes. Put on her pajamas. Pink pajamas with little dinosaur. Looking in mirror. She nodded satisfied. Eyes slightly squinting. Gently raising eyebrows. Sophie Sullivan opened room door going out. Come, I'll take you to settle score with Dad. Jake Thompson eyes wide confused. What score? Hasn't Mr. Sullivan arranged everything? Oh wait. Where's surprise you prepared for me? Seeing Jake Thompson's appearance. Sophie Sullivan slightly pursing lips smiling. Tiptoeing, sweetly kissed him once. Moi tilde. Jake Thompson immediately deflated, but hard excited. He understood. Just now this girl went in room changing clothes. Deliberately chased me out. Damn, she's my wife. Should openly watch properly. Who says, peeking? Wife, I think we need to talk. Idea flashing in mind. He quickly chased after. Reaching to grab little dinosaur tail. Behind her back. Sophie Sullivan mischievously laughing. Making ghost face. Quickly running downstairs. While running teasing. Jake Thompson, you can't catch me, blah blah blah. That childish cute appearance. Continued until she stood before Thomas Sullivan. Expression serious. Dad explained to me, you clearly knew my boyfriend is Jake Thompson. So why last night you acted so reluctant? Beside, Jake Thompson gasped cold air. Consciously opening potato chips bag. Instantly transforming into gossip listener. Thomas Sullivan helplessly shrugged. Sullivan, why do you think Dad unwilling? Dad was just too shocked. Shocked about what? Remember last night you said, your boyfriend not wealthy? Remember? Thomas Sullivan took deep breath, still excited even now. Pointing at Jake Thompson. Squinting at daughter. Dad really didn't expect. Brother Jake here casually gave you $3 million necklace. Yet you say not wealthy. So Dad felt bit shocked. Jake Thompson. Green beans. Old Sullivan, clearly only knows it's expensive. How could know exact value? Isn't he selling me out? Can't play like this. Explain then explain. Tell me what to say completely. 3 million? Indeed. Sophie Sullivan slightly frowning. Scrutinizing eyes looking at Jake Thompson. Immediately becoming interrogating girl. Jake Thompson, the necklace you bought me really 3 million? Where did you get that money? Sophie Sullivan thought long couldn't figure out. Decisively stopped thinking. My boyfriend's so capable. Having private fund also normal. Just fund money bit much. But, Dad, this explanation temporarily acceptable. But there's another problem. Why last night Dad didn't explain clearly to me? Thomas Sullivan jumped. Meeting this question, he straightened back. Coughed dryly twice. Face full of cunning said, Dad originally didn't plan to explain. Dad remembers clearly. Last night Dad chased to certain princess's room. Just didn't give Dad chance. Hearing this, Sophie Sullivan also remembered last night's situation. Seems Dad really wanted to explain. But she closed door, not meeting him. HMPH, whatever. Anyway, this matter I'm not wrong. Sophie Sullivan arrogantly turned head away. Not paying attention to Thomas Sullivan anymore. I misunderstood. I was wrong. But so what? I'm Dad's daughter. If I say I'm right, then I'm right. Knowing whole cause and effect, Jake Thompson could only smile bitterly, looking at Thomas Sullivan face full of black lines. He really didn't know what to say. Gently pulling Sophie Sullivan's arm. Advising. Hey Sullivan. Mr. Sullivan is elder. Just wanting good for us, you ignoring him all day. Then apologized to Dad. Sophie Sullivan pouted. Reluctantly said, fine then. She turned looking at Thomas Sullivan. Softly humph. For Jake Thompson's sake pleading for Dad. I'll forgive this time. But I have one condition. Thomas Sullivan eyes wide. Expression incredulous disbelief. He understood his daughter too well. Extremely stubborn personality. Usually even parents' words. She rarely listens. Yet today obediently following Jake Thompson's words. Still willing to agree to one condition. Not to say one, even 100 conditions. How dare he not approve? Sullivan, go ahead. Sophie Sullivan extended slender fair finger. Seriously warning. Jake Thompson's alcohol tolerance not as good as Dad's. Dad don't force him drink much. If he's drunk, I'll definitely argue with Dad. This was what Sophie Sullivan wanted to remind Dad long time. Let her boyfriend drink less. Actually she just guessed Jake Thompson's tolerance not good. If really good, why that drunk confession before? No problem. Thomas Sullivan immediately agreed. Honestly he just wanted to drink happily. But tonight has more important matter. Need to keep clear head. So drinking less also fine. Life is long. Jake Thompson can't escape. However, Jake Thompson didn't think so. He naturally knew Sophie Sullivan worried about him drinking much. But problem is, can he get drunk now? Impossible. Damn. Could system skill be fake? 10,000 bonding points target. Tonight he definitely won't spare Thomas Sullivan. 5 minutes later, Mary Lee called 3 people in living room to dining table. On table, originally Thomas Sullivan placed 2 bottles 5 grains liquid. But under daughter's sparkling eyes, he obediently put away 1 bottle, leaving half each. He raised eyebrows asking. Jake Thompson laughed softly. Taking bottle he just put away. Placing back on table, Thomas Sullivan's expression immediately subtle. 1 person 1 bottle. Jake Thompson waved hand. Turning going to living room. Taking 2 more Motai bottles bought at Milky Way Plaza. Placing straight on table. Now on table 2 bottles Motai. 2 bottles 5 grains liquid. Each person 2 bottles. Today must be happy. No drunk no return. In terms of provocation, Jake Thompson truly master. He deliberately smirked. As if 2 bottles liquor to him just child's play. Indeed, Thomas Sullivan's spirit immediately soared. He slammed table. Bang, boldly said. Worthy of my son-in-law. Open bottle. Prepare battle immediately. This scene made both Mary Lee and Sophie Sullivan stunned. 2 people quickly advising. Little Jake. He's liquor worm, don't drink much. Right, Jake Thompson, don't force yourself. Father-in-law's tolerance extremely good. Jake Thompson waved hand. Smiling said, Auntie Sullivan, in my hometown. I'm called, undefeated in 4 Cs. 1,000 cups not drunk. Rest assured, today definitely I'll drink happily with Uncle. Thomas Sullivan's eyes bright. Heavens. Isn't this exactly phrase people use to describe me? He laughed heartily. Just about to eat few bites patting stomach. Jake Thompson already poured 2 full glasses Motai. Uncle Sullivan, let's not just talk. Let's start. This glass you don't need to drink. I toast Uncle. Wish Uncle's career forever prosperous. Earning countless small targets. Having said, Jake Thompson didn't hesitate. 1 breath emptied glass. Feeling still same. Still spicy burning. But after drinking felt nothing. Stomach not heavy at all. 1,000 cups not drunk. Skill indeed powerful. Oh ho, then I must drink together. Honestly, Thomas Sullivan originally didn't plan accepting this glass. After all his stomach still completely empty. Brother Jake, I say before drinking should eat some food first, okay? Drinking on empty stomach easily kills people. But son-in-law already toasted. Thomas Sullivan could only grit teeth and drink. Because empty stomach. 1 glass down stomach. Thomas Sullivan felt extremely uncomfortable. Just about to pick food to cushion. Unexpectedly Jake Thompson raised glass again. Uncle Sullivan, this glass I wish Uncle healthy body. Spirit increasingly abundant. Soul forever young. Jake Thompson still 1 breath empty. Thomas Sullivan face full black lines. But still forced drinking 1 glass. 2 glasses on empty stomach. Even immortals can't handle. He quickly picked food. Jake Thompson nodded. Indeed should eat bit first. Although purpose wanting Thomas Sullivan to collapse, but also must care for father-in-law's health. He casually picked few pieces food. Praising. Auntie cooks really well. Eyes occasionally glancing at Thomas Sullivan. 1 piece 2 pieces. 3 pieces considered enough. Uncle Sullivan, this glass you must drink. Thank Uncle for raising Sullivan. Such smart obedient girl. Familiar formula. Still familiarly 1 breath empty. Thomas Sullivan finally felt bit better. Boldly nodding. But corner of Jake Thompson's mouth slightly lifting. Waiting for him eat 3 more pieces. Uncle Sullivan. This glass I thank Uncle agreeing me and Sullivan together. Thomas Sullivan gritting teeth drinking. Looking at Sophie Sullivan's countless merits. Jake Thompson casually mentioned 2 points. Immediately became reason to toast Thomas Sullivan another glass. So scene then extremely tragic. Just 10 minutes passed. Brother Jake, wait a moment. I'll go bathroom first. Thomas Sullivan face flushed red. Standing up staggering toward bathroom. Mary Lee eyes wide. smiling gently. Little Jake, eat more, let me go check on him. Husband. Jake Thompson nodded. Yes, Auntie. Actually, Thomas Sullivan's tolerance truly formidable. If not for Jake Thompson's skill, two people combined couldn't beat him. Thomas Sullivan turned back, just meeting Sophie Sullivan's eyes. Peeved. Sound. Sophie Sullivan burst laughing. Jake Thompson to make Dad happy, really going all out. She gave him half bowl peeled shrimp. Jake Thompson's eyebrows slightly twitching. Skillful. Having girlfriend really blessed. Eating shrimp someone peels ready. Just Sullivan peeled shrimp looks bit strange. He laughed. Silly, you're peeling not bad. Don't need peel anymore later. Looking at bowl shrimp peeled messily before him. Jake Thompson really both amused and helpless. Though normal people hard to peel completely. But at least has basic shape. Hearing him say this, Sophie Sullivan frowning, pouting. I know it's ugly, first time. But later still must peel. Peeling shrimp for boyfriend isn't what should do. Next time definitely I'll do better. You wait and see. Jake Thompson smiled, gently rubbing her head. Then also peeled one shrimp giving her, for you. Sophie Sullivan eyes wide, face full amazement. My boyfriend drank until Dad leaning on wall. Yet still sober enough to peel shrimp. And peeled so beautifully, impossible. Didn't expect his tolerance so good. Jake Thompson shrugged. Didn't I say? Undefeated in 4 Cs, is real. But another, undefeated in 4 Cs, is squatting before toilet vomiting violently. Vomiting for 5 straight minutes. Thomas Sullivan finally felt better. With Mary Lee supporting him out. Body staggering, as if he could fall at any moment. He groaned. Wife, from now on I won't listen to Sullivan anymore. That girl is exactly what people online call that Mr. Versailles type. Telling me Jake Thompson isn't wealthy. Also saying Jake Thompson's alcohol tolerance is poor. Result got her father this miserable. Thomas Sullivan almost cried. Got it now. Really a chain of traps, first time he encountered this. Enduring until now. Finally surrendered. And Jake Thompson? Completely unaffected, this tolerance truly excessive. Mary Lee glanced at him. Your embarrassing stories still few? Old Sullivan, forgot the main business? She reminded, it's time already. Thomas Sullivan stunned. Hazily thinking for a moment. Oh right, must hide Jake Thompson's car keys. So he can't leave tonight. You say where, I'll go hide them. Mary Lee rolled eyes. You're still fumbling around. Just looked around living room. Didn't see Jake Thompson's car keys anywhere. Must be carrying them on him. What now, old Sullivan, don't you want grandchildren? Think of something yourself. Thomas Sullivan sighed deeply. Breath of alcohol almost knocked Mary Lee out. He scratched his head. Suddenly flashed an idea. Wife, you go distract. Let me handle the problem. Mary Lee glanced suspiciously. Looking at Thomas Sullivan floating from alcohol. Can you manage? Thomas Sullivan frowned. You doubting me? Mary Lee speechless. You still saying, I see you're just a drunk. She waved hand, signaling him hurry, then returned to dining table. 5 minutes later, whole body soaking wet, still shivering, Thomas Sullivan walked to table, making all three look stunned. Jake Thompson asked, Uncle Sullivan, what happened to you? Sophie Sullivan called, Dad. Mary Lee also surprised. Old Sullivan, where did you go? Thomas Sullivan laughed cheerfully, plopping down on chair. Hide Jake Thompson's car keys so he can't leave. Raining can't walk home. So he chose simpler method. More brutal. Just stepped outside. Dad felt bit hot. Conveniently took a shower. Jake Thompson gasped cold air. Glancing at Thomas Sullivan's soaking wet clothes. Secretly giving thumbs up. Indeed worthy Uncle Sullivan. Damn, showering with clothes on. Really drunk indeed. Even making up stories can't do properly. Clearly just now, got drenched by rain. But Thomas Sullivan didn't see anything wrong with his explanation. He said, Dragon son-in-law, let's continue drinking. Actually Thomas Sullivan having hallucinations. Just now wind blowing, rain pouring, felt better. He thought he could still drink, who knew? Just smelling alcohol. Already felt world spinning. Whole person collapsed on table. Ding, congratulations host completed side mission. Received reward 10,000 bonding points. Damn, falling with bang and done. Jake Thompson stunned. Then burst laughing. He put away liquor bottles. Uncle Sullivan. Today we won't drink anymore. I'll help you to room rest a bit. Thomas Sullivan half lying half sitting, waving hand. Face full of unwillingness. Brother Jake. How can we not drink? Continue, I can still drink. I'm not drunk. Jake Thompson speechless. Not drunk? Still calling me Brother Jake. He was about to advise when heard Thomas Sullivan. Starting to mumble nonsense. Today I'm very happy. Brother Jake. Sullivan really likes you. Tonight she smiled more than whole year at home. I really admire you. I must toast you. Jake Thompson between laughing and crying. He glanced, signaling Sophie Sullivan. Telling her pour water in Dad's cup. Done. Jake Thompson smiled. Uncle Sullivan, how about this? This considered last cup. After drinking considered complete. Thomas Sullivan nodded hard. Raising cup, one breath emptied. This liquor not spicy at all. That moment, he found back his 1,000 cups not drunk feeling. Jake Thompson helped Thomas Sullivan lie on sofa. One side exchanging meaningful glances with Sophie Sullivan. One side chatting few sentences. With drunk as a mortal father. Looking at clock already 10 p.m. Time to go. He still wanted to go home. Best to research how to use these 10,000 bonding points. He said, Uncle Sullivan, already 10 o'clock, I'm leaving. Perfect time for everyone rest early. Though drinking Jake Thompson still extremely sober. Thanks to 1,000 cups not drunk skill. So no worry about driving. Thomas Sullivan mumbling. Dragon son-in-law, it's raining. How about stay home? Jake Thompson secretly glanced at Sophie Sullivan. Her face flushed red. This girl shy again. Thinking of Thomas Sullivan's personality. He really didn't want midnight being eavesdropped with headphones outside door. Quickly shook head. No problem. Drive a bit then home. Thomas Sullivan struggling to stand up. He wanted to witness results he created. Sullivan. Walk dragon son-in-law to car. Dragon son-in-law, you don't know. Outside still drizzling. Jake Thompson just reached car. Already discovered right rear tire slashed by something. He slightly frowned. Impossible. He drives very carefully. Strange. Why tire flat? Sophie Sullivan also found strange. Very clearly. She watched him park. At that time clearly nothing wrong. Eyes accidentally swept past Thomas Sullivan. Could it be Dad? Indeed. She saw Thomas Sullivan laughing cunningly. Dragon son-in-law, tire flat. This is heaven's will. How about don't leave? Stay with Sullivan one night. Didn't expect right? Tire flat. Don't doubt, don't be surprised. I'm telling truth. I personally paid for this. Even Jesus's car standing up can't fix. Dragon son-in-law. Accept it, obediently with Sullivan quickly give me grandchildren. But next scene made Thomas Sullivan eyes bulge. Eyelids almost popping. Only saw Jake Thompson open front trunk him. Brand new tire rolled out. He also took small jack. Dragon son-in-law planning to change tire? Damn, so forceful? Right when Jake Thompson preparing to work. Suddenly sky pouring rain. Perhaps whole day's drizzle compressed. Big raindrops, dense. Making fierce rushing sound. Sophie Sullivan paused. Quickly held umbrella covering Jake Thompson. How about tonight you stay at my house? Suddenly raining like this. You going alone I'm not reassured. Who knows to say this sentence? How much courage Sophie Sullivan needed. Must know if Jake Thompson nods. With Thomas Sullivan and Mary Lee's personality. Jake Thompson definitely would be arranged sleeping in her room. No different from rescue. But making Jake Thompson after drinking. Still drive in rain home. Sophie Sullivan absolutely disagree. Corner of Thomas Sullivan's mouth lifting cunning smile. Oh mama, even heaven stands on my side. This rain excellent. Dragon son-in-law, just stay home. Auntie and I sleep deeply. Won't hear anything. Won't affect you too. Thomas Sullivan laughing slyly said. Dark rainy windy night. Rain sound lullaby, making babies sweeter. Mary Lee suddenly bright idea. Turning going into living room. Little Jake, I'll get more blankets for you. Pitter patter, rain falling down. Garden grass. Still stubbornly raising heads. Stray cat also finding shelter. By ears Sophie Sullivan's whole family urging to stay. Then today I'll trouble Uncle Sullivan. Jake Thompson slightly nodded, turning around. Both Thomas Sullivan couple and girl he loves already said this much. If he still refuses. Really tactless. Thomas Sullivan's heart extremely refreshed. Patting Jake Thompson's shoulder. Secretly stuffing something in his hand. Dragon son-in-law. I'm bit dizzy. Going to sleep first. You two rest early. Having said Thomas Sullivan immediately turned running away. Through door peephole. Seeing couple slowly going upstairs. Thomas Sullivan slightly nodded. Only now completely reassured. Whole person falling on bed. Done. Finally I can peacefully lie down sleep. Other side. Mary Lee holding another blanket. Placing on Sophie Sullivan's bed. While tidying mumbling. Little Jake. Actually Sullivan's blanket enough for 2 people. Just she sleeps grabbing blankets a lot. This blanket for backup. You two sleep well. I'm going first. Jake Thompson and Sophie Sullivan simultaneously nodded. Right after. They heard Mary Lee outside door using key. Locking room door. Jake Thompson gasped hard. Heavens, Auntie, I wasn't planning to run. Moreover really unexpected. Auntie just like Uncle Sullivan, not serious at all. Wife, your parents really too enthusiastic. Sophie Sullivan pouted, mischievously glancing at Jake Thompson. Face full of blushing. She beckoned. She just remembered something. Haven't asked Jake Thompson yet. Now have chance. Little boyfriend, come here. Why standing so far? Jake Thompson thought Sophie Sullivan changed personality. After all her home turf. Being bold and comfortable understandable. He, not taking advantage is foolish, speak. Want kiss or hug, or want to call me uncle? Sophie Sullivan blinking sparkling eyes. Eyes shimmering like water. Plain face making that gesture. Still somewhat alluring. But before doing those things, I want to ask you something. Jake Thompson waved hand. Signaling go ahead ask. What were you thinking spending $3 million buying me that necklace? Back then we only knew each other half a day. Oh dear. Jake Thompson cold sweat. He knew this wasn't just one question. But 2. He keenly recognized hidden question. Where did that $3 million come from? Honestly, understanding Jake Thompson's finances clearly. Besides finance department head only Sophie Sullivan. How much employee salary each month? Also decided by her. How could not know? Moreover Jake Thompson at company how long? Not even 2 years. Even with full bonuses. Not eating, not drinking, not borrowing for house, not spending. Still couldn't have $3 million. Actually I have my own company. But kept quite secret. Only recently listed. Founded with close brothers since college. These years earned some money. Sophie Sullivan eyes wide. Company founded since college. Earned some money. Already far exceeded $3 million then. If someone else, she'd think fabrication. But these words from Jake Thompson himself. She only had one emotion. That was joy. Little boyfriend truly wonderful. What company exactly, in Boston? Corner of Jake Thompson's mouth curving slightly. He already thought of explanation. Still must rely on this smart head. Thunder Tech LLC. Recently moved to Boston and relisted. Previously major shareholder. Also friend in charge of programming. Family matters. Had to sell shares to me for money. So now I'm first legal representative. Thunder Tech LLC. Sophie Sullivan stunned. Isn't this company that made Thunder Hammer Game? So Thunder Hammer Game you play is your own company's game. Sophie Sullivan naturally knew this company. Secretary Jong Daily summarizes Boston news. Worthy cooperation and emerging enterprises. Recently most notable is Thunder Tech LLC. Its rise like being unknown. Suddenly sprouting like mushrooms after rain. Directly standing firm in Boston. Could say so. Jake Thompson full of black lines. Gritting teeth answering. Heartbit regretful. Damn. Should have said New Asia Entertainment instead. That modeling company. Why forgot about Thunder Hammer Game matter? Now how explain little Sullivan recharging money in my game? Actually, Sullivan, Jake Thompson seeing Sophie Sullivan pondering. He unconsciously explaining. He understood this girl too well. Outwardly seems silly. But that's only in love. In other aspects, she's absolutely extremely smart girl. If let her continue thinking. Jake Thompson really doesn't know how to fabricate more. But he just opened mouth. Already stopped by Sophie Sullivan's slender finger on lips. Face full of gentle smile. Sophie Sullivan gently brushing hair. Tying into ponytail with small band. Then like tiger pouncing prey diving into Jake Thompson's arms. Don't need to say more. I understand everything, little boyfriend, I like you so much. Just now she was thinking. About recharging money in Jake Thompson's game. Just her thinking bit special. Head full of thoughts. Must treat recharging as small surprise. Then tell Jake Thompson to see his excited reaction. She remembered very clearly. Back then Jake Thompson extremely moved and happy. But that was Jake Thompson's company. Whatever wanted in game just say and have immediately. Why need be so moved? She could think only one reason. Jake Thompson didn't want to disappoint her. Deliberately pretended moved. HMPH, silly good actor. Even fooled me. But sweet honey-like feeling. Spreading in Sophie Sullivan's heart. Jake Thompson, you really always think for me from every angle. Always caring for my emotions bit by bit. Always concerned about me. Always making me feel protected. Jake Thompson feeling warmth in his arms. Stunned, heavens. Why didn't I realize? Wife, how about you say what you understood? Faint fragrance from Sophie Sullivan gently wafting past his nose. Jake Thompson breathing relief, whatever. Understanding is good, not asking any more. Little boyfriend. Thank you. Sophie Sullivan's eyes sparkling. Red luscious lips slightly curving alluringly. She wanted to kiss Jake Thompson immediately. Right this instant. Naturally next step is action. Hey, slow down. My waist. Hearing Jake Thompson's pleading in room. Thomas Sullivan and Mary Lee eavesdropping outside door. Both looking at each other smiling. Didn't expect their daughter so proactive. Indeed phrase. Girl grown up changes, all fake. Should call, falling in love then changes, correct. Thomas Sullivan breathing light relief. Then I'm completely reassured. He gently tugged Mary Lee's sleeve corner. Face full of smiling meaning. Wife, want double happiness? Just now Thomas Sullivan suddenly flashed bold thought. One side raising grandchild. One side raising another son also good. Mary Lee immediately understood, glaring at Thomas Sullivan once. Hand pinching his waist hard. Go elsewhere, improper old man. I'm exhausted. What double happiness? Almost 50 years old already. Can still say such words? Next second, Mary Lee's whole body lifted. This time she really surprised. Thomas Sullivan directly carrying wife on shoulder. Even without double happiness tonight you can't escape. If tired then don't move. Happily let me handle. Scene becoming both awkward and helpless. Sophie Sullivan's face flushed red, about to drip. She gripped pillow edge tightly. Old dad still eavesdropping outside door. Listening fine then. But speaking so loud. Jake Thompson also full of helplessness. Because numb arm, he turned over. Must say honestly, little Sullivan's bed really comfortable indeed. Right now Jake Thompson didn't know. A small exquisitely packaged box fell from his pocket. Right when Sophie Sullivan saw it. She immediately blushed, secretly calling hooligan. Seeing clearly words printed on box. Her whole person confused. Breathing rapid, heart beating fast. Face flushed red, she quickly turned away. Right in eyes was small box on bed. Looking up glancing at Jake Thompson. She already ran into bathroom, damn. Why fall out now? Really disaster. This originally what Thomas Sullivan earlier stuffed into Jake Thompson's hand. Didn't expect now making Sophie Sullivan misunderstand. Explain, must explain. Wife okay. Come out quickly. We don't need to use that. Sophie Sullivan hearing Jake Thompson's words in bathroom. Even more panicked. Not using, isn't that direct? Jake Thompson, do you have conscience? Could you really want children now? With you I only feel embarrassed, but if you insist. Then not impossible. Oh no, can discuss again. But not using that, absolutely not allowed. Dawn breaking. Rain stopped, sky clear. After long night, two people's love. Like rain moistening heaven and earth. Sophie Sullivan opening sleepy eyes. In eyes Jake Thompson still deep asleep. She moved very gently. Glancing at clock. Right at biological time she usually wakes. Normally over 7 o'clock already at company. Open eyes, get up immediately. Sophie Sullivan never had habit of lingering. But today she had no intention leaving bed. Smiling, watching Jake Thompson's side profile. Her eyes full of stars. Like lazy cat. Hee, little boyfriend too handsome already. But me pillowing your arm sleeping all night like this. You really don't feel numb? Feeling Jake Thompson's strong arms. Bringing reassuring feeling. Sophie Sullivan's heart only one thought. Lie down bit more. Just few minutes. 8:30, when Jake Thompson woke up. Sophie Sullivan no longer in room. On bedside table stuck pink note. On it her elegant handwriting. Little boyfriend. I went to work. Morning, I have matters need handle quickly. You obediently wait at home for me. You don't need go to company. Remember, eat breakfast. I like you. Finally, still smiley face she drew. Jake Thompson laughed softly. Dressed. Washed face, then went downstairs. Just meeting eyes with Thomas Sullivan lying on sofa. He laughed mischievously. Dragon son-in-law, quickly say how last night's sleep did. Jake Thompson helplessly shrugged. Also good, anything else? Those who understand understand. Actually last night, Jake Thompson and Sophie Sullivan did nothing. He just coaxed embarrassed girl from bathroom out. Two people loving each other. Didn't want other sleeping on floor. Finally joking laughing fell asleep on bed. Nothing happened. Jake Thompson's answer bit vague. He just didn't want Thomas Sullivan asking much. Later whatever happens just consider. Two of you don't exist fine. Oh right, dragon son-in-law, when free bring your parents here. Meet once. We early. Settle your and Sullivan's marriage. That moment, Jake Thompson almost spit milk on ground. Too eager, damn. Really threatening words. Marriage matter you say so lightly? Jake Thompson's heart shaking strongly. But this couldn't refuse directly. Had to laugh awkwardly. Uncle, could you call my dad first, say something? Thomas Sullivan nodded lightly. Considered tacitly agreeing with Jake Thompson's words. He took out phone, swiping lightly. Then said, I just checked. If this afternoon wedding banquet. Then at Galaxy Hotel, if tomorrow. Then Shangri-La Hotel. Wedding car use mine. Wedding dress order anytime. Wedding ceremony proceed anytime. Dragon son-in-law, when do you want? Jake Thompson almost spit. Damn, straight in his face. Heaven and earth. This afternoon or tomorrow, uncle so rushed. Even my ancestors entering homes knew to take off shoes first. Jake Thompson cold sweat. He stood up abruptly. Uncle. This matter let your daughter decide. Important to hear her opinion. Oh, I remember urgent matter outside. Uncle rest at home. Putting on jacket, shoes. Jake Thompson rushed straight outdoor. While walking secretly breathing relief. Escaped. Not giving Thomas Sullivan any reaction time. Moment door closed. Jake Thompson breathing relief. Good thing I ran fast. Actually he really had matters. Not deliberately deceiving Thomas Sullivan. This morning. He planned visiting Thunder Tech LLC once. Just waking up, private secretary sent message. Saying company has troublemaker. Just small employee. All day clamoring to meet Jake Thompson, this chairman, face to face. Unclear beginning and end. Jake Thompson not rushing to conclude that person wrong. But planning personally see what's up. But immediate problem. Tire still broken. He had to fix it himself. Ding. Does host need tire repair? System can do it. Jake Thompson's eyes brightened. Doesn't this save effort? Too wonderful. Ding. Labor fee 1,000 bonding value points. Jake Thompson face darkened. This silly system. Damn. Believe I'll slap you? Without saying more, he took jack and spare tire changing immediately. Could I regret those 1,000 bonding points? People say, Doing yourself fills you up. But just sitting in car. Jake Thompson suddenly remembered something. Seems 10,000 bonding points still unused. Must know. Unlocking level 70 winning rate increases strongly. These 10,000 points for real drawing. Jake Thompson started imagining. Like before Thunder Company gifting 3 million necklace. Upgrading later. Wouldn't it reach heaven? Ding. Preparing lottery for host. Ding. Congratulations, host received encouragement money 666. Draw more luck x4, luck explosion. Encouragement x3, special 6666 by 3. Waiting forever, still only those reward prompts. Jake Thompson still waiting. But system silent, saying nothing more. He panicked. Damn. Could it be over? This is reward I exchanged for 10,000 points? 666 times 4, 6,666 times 3 plus few dollars, total over 20,000. This is what I exchanged 10,000 bonding points for. International Trade Center, International Trade Avenue. This location right in center. Right in Boston's busiest area. People coming and going like water. People shoulder to shoulder. Everywhere beautiful long-legged women. Streamers dressed eye-catching for views. Bloggers holding microphones introducing strange shops. A man in black suit pushing through crowd. Approaching Tesla just stopped. He cautiously approached. Gathering courage asking. Excuse me. Are you Jake Thompson? Jake Thompson glanced at newcomer. Smiling. It's me, you're William Strong, right? William Strong breathed relief. Good thing didn't recognize wrong. Continuously answering. Yes, Director Thompson, I'm your private secretary. Actually, William Strong's heart also very shocked, few days ago. He just applied for chairman secretary position at Thunder. About personal ability he had enough confidence. But only worry was about mysterious chairman Jake Thompson. Thunder Company headquarters. Located right next to International Trade Center. In Boston's busiest center. Being able to occupy this building. Jake Thompson's power truly frightening. So when seeing Jake Thompson, he stunned. So young? Heavens, still this handsome. Novel male lead not this exaggerated. Take me to meet that employee first. Jake Thompson waved hand saying. This was main purpose coming here. Without rules hard to form standards. An employee daring to cause trouble in company only two types. 1. Not afraid of firing because found new place. 2. Has outstanding talent. Knows company won't dare fire. Jake Thompson not rigid person. If really talented, he not only won't blame, but could encourage, reward. But if just troublemaker, sorry, new chairman taking office. First fire will burn on him. Following William Strong into building. Jake Thompson couldn't help sighing. System really domineering. Just this building alone. Enough to crush many other companies. Full of technology atmosphere. On the way, he felt countless eyes following. Naturally all current Thunder employees. First, they recognized William Strong, chairman's private secretary. So more curious about Jake Thompson's identity. Who is this young person? Making secretary William personally lead way. Perhaps chairman's relative. Impossible, must be distant relative. Anyway, no one believed. Jake Thompson was Thunder chairman. He's too young. Moreover, on way he kept smiling. This image, completely opposite their imagined chairman image. Elevator stopped at 6th floor. William Strong swiped card leading Jake Thompson. Into design department laboratory. Director Thompson arrived, that employee named Hunter Bold. He stood right in room, eyes blazing. Not showing fear at all. Instead carrying oppressive momentum. Jake Thompson frowned, slowly walking in. Jake Thompson slightly nodded, but heart had some doubt. Name Hunter Bold sounds familiar somehow. He glanced around at working employees. Jake Thompson gently nodded. Don't know how they work. But outside appearance quite good. Though never been chairman before. But Jake Thompson's momentum not lacking at all. This feeling only reborn person could experience. Carrying vision beyond 10 years. Naturally radiating strong confidence. Jake Thompson's appearance immediately attracted most department employees' eyes. Male employees amazed. Oh mama, even more handsome than me. Who is this person? Anyone know? New colleague? Looking still too young. I think being able to go with Secretary William. Better stop random guessing. Male employees full of calculations. While female employees all unanimously. Wow, too handsome. Who is Hunter Bold? Jake Thompson calmly asked. Sound not loud but extremely firm. Everyone cast doubtful eyes over. For a moment no one answered. Whole large office. Only one young man sitting in corner. Not looking toward Jake Thompson at all. Jake Thompson almost certain that's Hunter Bold. Squinting, he asked again. I ask again. Who is Hunter Bold? Indeed. Everyone simultaneously looked toward young man in corner. Jake Thompson also not hiding sharp gaze. Only saw on Hunter Bold's face. Still carrying youthful stubbornness. He raised head up, eyes looking straight at Jake Thompson. Corner of mouth lifting into smile. It's me, what's the matter? You also came to advise me abandon this game plan? If so, I want to talk with senior leadership. Not a young person like you. William Strong frowned tightly. About to speak. Already stopped by Jake Thompson. He wasn't angry, just smiled at Thunder. Everything I can decide. Your matter, just tell me. What gives you authority? This guy barely over 20. Could you be Director Thompson's son? Jake Thompson slightly shook head. Of course not. Hunter Bold dismissively waved. Then what nonsense. Please leave. William Strong really couldn't hold back. Damn. Past few days when Director Thompson not a company I managed. Yet this idiot Hunter Bold now dares openly provoke Director Thompson. Others looking would think I manage poorly. Outrageous, Hunter Bold. Do you know this is Director Thompson? All employees' eyes widened. Is Director Thompson, Thunder Company chairman, person who bought building near international trade, still this young? Immediately, everyone simultaneously stood up, seriously greeting. And Hunter Bold? Eyes instantly change. He rushed straight toward Jake Thompson, naturally not daring doubt his identity. Because Secretary William confirmed, eyes almost falling out, a grown man almost crying. Director Thompson, please, look at my game design. I think in this company only you can understand me. Hunter Bold speaking sincerely. Today is third day working at Thunder. He originally school genius. Design extremely strong talent, heart full of burning passion. Wanting to make game he truly loves. Thunder's design with Thunderhammer. Exactly what he wanted. Jake Thompson glancing over Hunter Bold's face. Trying to recall past life memories. This person he definitely met before. But doesn't remember where. Suddenly Jake Thompson awakened. He calmly said, if I'm not mistaken. You job hopped from Penguin Company here, right? Hunter Bold immediately stunned. How did Director Thompson see through? Could before I came, he checked resume? But not right. In my resume. Basically never mentioned Penguin at all. That's right. Thinking so, Hunter Bold quickly shook head. Director Thompson, I didn't job hop from Penguin. He denied, but eyes secretly observing Jake Thompson's reaction. Only saw Jake Thompson's expression from calm turning cold. He shook head. Hunter Bold. Compared to talented but boastful employees, I'd rather choose though clumsy. But knows to listen a bit. You understand my meaning? You think I don't dare ask? Jake Thompson squinted. Actually just glancing at game design Hunter Bold presented. He understood everything clearly. This is preliminary draft of King of Glory. A national masterpiece Penguin developed. And Hunter Bold is chief designer. This also explains why Jake Thompson found that name familiar. But this isn't reason for him overlooking lying. Talented, capable employees. Being arrogant also normal. But essentially employee daring to lie to superiors. Must have guts accepting punishment. Director Thompson, sorry. I admit job hopping from Penguin. Jake Thompson's all-seeing eyes made Hunter Bold's heart tremble. He suddenly remembered who Jake Thompson is. Thunder Company chairman. Someone able to buy building near international trade. How could he not know truth? Hunter Bold realized his behavior just now was desperately testing fired boundary. Swallowing dry gulp. Now even breathing hard doesn't dare. Jake Thompson glanced lightly at him. Seeing Hunter Bold's whole body trembling, he withdrew gaze. Gave design to William Strong. Then swept eyes around design department. Calmly said, 20 minutes later, meeting in conference room. All design employees must be present.